here. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to bring in Ty from Cars on the Move, and we're going to get going, and we're gonna start the lead in. We're just doing the teaser, the lead in. What's he talking about? All right, I tell you what. Enough of me. Here's Ty. We're going to be right back. Stick around.
Hey guys, it's Ty, transport guy in the transport parking lot. Just wanted to tell you thanks for joining the roundtable, and wanted to encourage you to come to the next roundtable with your 5-month goals. Bring a friend, talk to 5 car dealers, and call me before the next meeting. Don't forget that. Thanks. Looking forward to seeing you. Have a great week.
That was from, I think that was, oh, see, and there you go. Audio's changed already. I think when I launch Zoom, the audio changes, and I had Zoom on earlier, and now I'm off Zoom, now I'm back on Zoom, so Ty's going to be in here in a minute. And Ty, if you didn't get your invite, let me know, but I think we got it. Let's check the live chat. I've missed several chats. Why does Larry get to set the rate without my permission? It's so funny you say that. I was kind of saying that to Larry. I said that to Larry. I said, Larry, you know, we gotta have like some kind of double checker. And he said, Larry's so smart. That's the answer, because Larry is smart. I bet the insurance companies love that idea. Mark, I think you should change the rate quote to an acceptable rate. Ooh, there we go. We're getting into rates. Everybody loves to talk about the rates. I was telling Mark, that's the thing, man. Everybody loves to talk about the rates. And, you know, and we need to. And so now we've got a quiz show and everything. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be amazing. But oh, thanks, Victor. Wow, man. You're the man, dude. Victor is one cool broker. Thank you, Victor, for being such a cool broker. Guys, it is, oh, an Expo Tractor's in here. We have quite, man, we have a lot of people tuned in tonight. So thank you guys so much. But without any further notice or warning, hold on to your hats, because we are live with Ty Thompson of Cars on the Move. Ty, can you see me and hear me okay?
Hey, Jay. Yeah, I can. Can you see and hear me?
I can see you. I can hear you. Welcome to Tuesday Nights Live, man. This is it. This is the big show, the big time.
Boy, howdy. And you know, Mark was right in the live chat. There is a lot of work involved to put this together. So I'm really, really thankful that, you know, I said this in the LinkedIn. You made a post for tonight's show. And I said, one of the things that I really appreciate about you is that you've dedicated a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of effort into building this platform, where we actually are building a real community of real people that have the desire to transport cars, which seems like a simple thing, except there's not a lot of people out there really telling people the real business, what it really is like and how hard it can be, and some of the things you need to watch out for. So thank you, Jay, for having me on, building this community. It's an honor, a pleasure, and all kinds of wonderful things to just be a part of it. So happy to be here. Thank you.
Dude, well, thank you, man. Yeah, you know, so like, what's cool, so I'm working on the show all day, and then I start working on that. One of the last things I do is I kind of work up some of those few things I'm going to say before I actually, you know, start the show. And what do we talk about? It's in a couple of the videos of you. We talk about on the phone. Why is there this? First, we go from no information for people that are wanting to ask questions. We go from no information to you're going to make $1 million your first day information. You know, so like we need to turn some pages and move into actual information, which we're doing that. And now, and you know this too, when we talk to folks at other organizations that are still like, no, what are you doing? You got like a TV show? Listen, it's not just a TV show. We're connecting businesses and people, and it, you know, like there is a lot of information that isn't shared enough, or it's assumed that you already know, right? How about that one? What do you mean you didn't know that already? I already knew that. You should know that, and all this stuff. Well, they didn't know. How do you learn? Well, here's how you can learn. Let's start from the beginning. And I like that you, at least once a week, tell me you talk to somebody, and you're like, yeah, no, they're not going to do it. They're getting out. They what? Finish that sentence for me. What happened? What did they do?
Well, and that's what's fun. See, tonight on the roundtable, you think this is this big presentation where Ty's going to spill the beans on how to connect everything. And we don't ever get there. So I thought maybe before John comes on, which, by the way, I haven't really spent a lot of time talking to John on purpose. So, John, the reason that I just basically hung up on you the other day was because I like to get to know you live while we're doing the show. So I'm really looking forward to having John on here. John's a big name in the industry, and John's got a lot of experience, probably more than I do. And that's the other beautiful part about this is Jay says it, I say it, and a lot of people say it, that Jay has on this show. We don't have all the answers. We're trying to figure out how to make it work, how to connect, how to get with a dealer, how to build a lane. What is a lane? So one of the things I thought I'd do real fast, speed round, right? I'm going to try to just dump as much as I can out. So everybody, you can watch this later and rewind it. All right. So how much time do I got? Give me a time limit.
You're good. I don't know. I don't know how much time you're looking for. So just go.
Well, we told John he'd be here at 8:50.
Oh, you mean call John? You want me to bring it? No. Okay.
No, not yet. But we told him he'd be here at 8:50. So we'll give me 2 minutes. Set the timer. Okay.
Okay.
So 2 minutes. I get the phone call. They went and they signed up for ATI Insider. They want to talk to Ty. They want to get into car hauling. So is it equipment? Is it insurance? Is it authority? What do I do? All right. So my job isn't to beat you down. My job is to get your brain to start thinking. Okay. And we're talking about a business and how do we run a business? So the first thing I do is I always say two things every time. Anybody in here tonight will guarantee you these are the first two things I ask. Can you live 6 months without a check? And who's your customer? Right? So number one, I don't need to know the answer to that. You do, and it's really important. And honestly, 6 months is borderline. So that should tell you something. This is a really cash-intensive business. It requires a lot of money to put fuel in. It requires a lot of money to pay insurance. It requires a lot of money to keep that truck going. So do you have money set aside? That's between you and you. Next is, who's your customer? Well, I don't know. That's why I'm calling you, Ty. All right. My preference is used cars. I like used cars because there are approximately 40 million used cars sold in the United States in, say, 2020. Maybe a little less because of a pandemic. But still, used cars is huge. My personal favorite is buy here, pay here. But we'll get there later. So what I've done is I've taken car dealers, and some people agree and disagree, but I've taken dealers and I put them in 5 categories. Real simple. 1, new car store, used car lot. Okay. Ford. They've got used Chevys on the Ford lot. Chevy has used Fords on the Chevy lot. Got it? 2, independent car lot. Extreme Power Sports, C. Cox Auto Sales. It just keeps going and going and going. That's the independent. They've got anywhere probably between 10 and maybe 100 used cars on their lot. They've probably been there a little while. Most of the people I talk to go here, start here. It's a lot safer. And you're going to probably be able to talk to somebody a lot easier, a lot faster. Number 2. Number 3, buy here, pay here. Ty's favorite. Smiley face, heart, circles, and all kinds of pretty flowers, right? We'll get there later. The wholesaler. Wholesaler is not necessarily a dealer because he can't sell to retail. Number 5, it would be, okay, we're there.
But you got, that was a lot of information in 2 minutes.
Yeah, well, and there's so much more. So
I know.
Car dealers are the people that have cars. Think about it. So as you're driving down the road, I always tell people, look at the car in front of you. What's it say? It says it's an Audi S4. Look at the license plate bracket. What does it say? Or is there a sticker in the corner? It usually tells you where that car came from. Hey, there's John.
He's tweaking his audio. It's interesting, and I like it when you say that stuff because I've done that after you said that. And I'm like, oh, yeah, there's the name of the dealership. Right, year, make, model, dealership, license plate.
Right. So I'm gonna welcome John.
Hey, John.
Hi guys.
Hey, John. Nice to meet you.
Hey, Ty.
Yeah. All right. Good. I'm glad you came. It really means a lot to us. Tell us a little bit about what you've got, because I don't honestly know.
Well, been in business for 35 years. Started out with 1 tow truck, and now we're up to 18 car carriers.
Oh, wow. And so do you do primarily OEM new cars, or do you do used, or is there a mix?
We do everything. We do snowbirds. We do a lot of dealership work. We do OEM stuff. You name it, we do it. They need it done to an auction, we'll take it to an auction. And like I said, we do stuff already and every, stuff going to the auction.
Wow, great. So you're familiar with tow trucks, stingers, probably even enclosed maybe? You got any enclosed?
No enclosed. It's the only thing we ever got involved with.
Right, tow truck. Well, it's funny because when we had talked the other day, you had mentioned tow trucks, and I thought, how funny is that? That's actually where I got my start. I sold the tow truck company and then started the transport company, and there was a connection there that I always like to tell guys when I'm coaching them. If you're towing cars and where are you towing them? To the service department. Do you know the service manager? Yeah, we're best friends. Okay, well, go ask him where the used car manager is getting the used cars. Start using names networking.
It's
right?
exactly how I got started in a transport business. I was doing dealership work, bringing disabled in. They asked me to take cars to the dealer. Started out with a flatbed, running back and forth, 2 cars at a time. And then we started moving up, Then we went to a 4-car trailer, and now we're up in stingers.
Yeah. Now I'm curious, what kind of stingers are you guys running primarily? I know, doesn't your son do trick my truck kind of idea?
Oh, he's believe me, he gets carried away. Doesn't really make a job at it. He likes his trucks. He likes his chrome. But yeah, we're running all stingers, Cottrells, and we're switching everything over from, to quick loaders now. So that's just the way it goes now, 80-footers.
Yeah, 80-footer quick loader. By the way, Friday, I'm going to go ahead and make a plug. We're going to have Alex with Trans Am, is that right? Transwest.
Transwest.
He's a lure dealer.
Yeah. Yes.
And, found him on YouTube. And anyway, he's going to come and show us some lure stuff. So I'm kind of excited about that too. But yeah, everything's gone to 80 feet now. Everything's dropped. What is that? 12 foot to the top? Something short.
Yes, it is. And they don't want you, main thing is they want everything down so you can strap them. This way nobody gets hurt.
A lot safer. Definitely a lot safer. From where you started and where I started, we've got stories of not safe, right?
Big yes. Some of the things we did, we should never tell anybody we did.
I won't tell anybody, I promise. I've got stories. So
yeah.
Anyway, I'm really happy to have John here, guys. And the reason is because it's good, and John, I want you to feel free. Hey, Ty, I don't agree with that. That's crazy. Because what we're looking for is back and forth dialogue. And the ultimate goal, and I think John would agree with this, is if you want to get into, and John's what I call a whale. All right. So Jay and I, we were down at AHA. How long ago was that, Jay?
We were at AHA. I was actually checking. I thought it was 2018, but it turns out I think it was 2019. So it wasn't that long ago.
No. But we were there and we were talking about whales and cleaner fish. So when I'm coaching guys, I say, go talk to car dealers. I tell everybody, go talk to 5, and your job is to prove me wrong. So what I need you to do is go find out where they get their cars and how they get them home. Now, one of the things is know your competition. So if you run into 5 car dealers and all 5 of them say, go talk to no, go away. I already have a transport company. His name is John Larick, right? I say, okay, get John's name and his number, because if John's doing his job right, John needs your help because you're the little guy. John's not going to send his big stinger 200 miles, 100 miles to go pick up 3 cars unless that's his only chance, only last straw, right, John?
Exactly. And what I do is, we want to take care of the customer. So we do have a lot of people that help us out.
Yeah. So, and it's funny because I didn't realize you were in New Jersey, and it seems like this show draws a lot of East Coast people. So it's good. And this exemplifies what I tell everybody. It's a community. We've got people in the north, we've got people south, east, west, Midwest, even someone starting to get more and more on the west side. But the more that I can connect guys with people that have been in the business, that know what they're doing, I call it the bumper rails at the bowling alley, right? Let's keep the ball at least in the lane. Because there are, and that's part of the deal. That's my biggest motivation here, is to really build a community that really cares, that really has ethics, really has morals, character, all the things that really are expected in any business, right? So the better that we work, let me say that, the more we work on our image as a community, as a group, we're going to get along a lot better with car dealers and car auctions. Is that fair?
Definitely. And the one thing that everybody's got to understand is that there is some people out there that make you look really bad. So you have to make sure you pick people that are going to work with you and make you look good. And then the other thing you got to do is make sure that somebody's not going to come in and try to steal your work, because there's plenty of work for everybody, but you don't want to break that trust with anybody.
No, you don't. And that's exactly right, guys. So when I say go find the big whale, John's a big whale. John's got a big fleet. John's got a client base. John cares about his client base. John works really hard, puts in a lot of hours to maintain and keep that reputation. So when we put you with somebody, the question came up in the live chat, how do I get a broker to give me business when I'm new, right? And I put in their smart aleck comment, which was, well, need to be moved and they can't find anybody, you're up next, which is scary. But the reality of it is the objective here is for everybody to stay safe, everybody to grow their business, and everybody to keep the cars on the trailer. Is that fair?
Exactly. 100%.
Simple. We don't really make it that complicated, guys, because there's some basics, and this is where I get really excited. John will tell me if I'm right or if I'm wrong, but I always say the car dealer wants 2, maybe 3 things. I put them in this order. I say 1, the car dealer wants his cars fast.
Right away.
Number
No
2,
doubt about it.
the car dealer wants a fair, reasonable price.
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Number 3, which should actually be number 1, the car dealer has one thing on his brain all the time, and that's selling cars.
Yes.
It's without the sales team, without the sales force, without the guys that are hanging out in the front of the building smoking cigarettes, just waiting for you to get within 10 feet of them so they can run out and ask you, hey, what are you doing in my parking lot? Without those guys, we don't have a job. Fair?
100%.
Right.
And the one thing that they got to remember is, you're going for a lease return. That's the last thing they want to take care of. They'll forget about you. But when you come in with their car, they want it right away. They're going to take it. They're going to do anything they can because they're sitting there waiting for that car.
Yeah. That's somebody's wants that car. We're going to sell that car. So that's kind of the motive. And that's where, Tim came on with this. I always would scream interest, interest, interest. These guys are paying interest. Tim has been educating me, but Max Digital, he's saying $50 to $66 a day per car on the lot or on its way to the lot. So you can imagine if a guy's got 100 cars and he's paying $50 a day interest alone, there may be a reason he wants you to hurry up and get the car here because he needs to sell it. Is that fair?
It's that, and I think he wants to make sure that nothing happens to it also.
Exactly. Okay, how are we on time, Jay?
Yeah, that was great stuff. And I liked how, you were talking about, the car he sold is melting faster than the lease return, right? And so, understanding this is where Ty, you were always talking about understanding the dealer, and then here just witnessing, because like you said, Ty, you none of that was scripted. This is 2 guys talking in auto transport about the way it is, and so I appreciate that. And I want to add this too, John, is that we're gonna start adding a lot of people, and this is gonna be a long show. So whatever your schedule is, if you left in 30 seconds, if you stuck around for 5 minutes, you're welcome to do whatever. We're just really pleased that we got to spend that time with you. So thank you. Okay.
No, I'm here.
Okay. All right, cool. Awesome. Well, then I think what I need to do is I'm going to go into the live chat, and while I do that, I'm going to somehow send the invitations to how many do we have?
This ought to be good. While you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and take over and talk some more about some interesting things I've found myself doing for a little while. There's this app called Clubhouse, okay? So I'm always saying get on LinkedIn, find car dealers, Follow car dealers, follow car companies, follow anything auction, follow. Read it, understand it. Okay. This Clubhouse app, I really still don't know what it is, but apparently you get on there and there are these meeting rooms. So I'm into all these car sales meeting rooms, these Clubhouse. And I get addicted to this stuff because these guys are doing real life, unscripted, unplanned dialogue back and forth. What's the word I'm looking for, John, when you do that back and forth? You're role play. You're doing role play.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of role play going on. And it's like how to overcome objections, and I'm listening to this and like 30 minutes goes by. I'm like, gee whiz, I need to stop. And I can't.
These are dealers?
Dealers and sales guys.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
and you hear the passion and you hear how they, and don't get me wrong, man. I mean, I would not want to be a car sales guy. That to me would be a really hard job. But I got a lot of respect for these guys and what they do. And what I'm trying to say here is the more you understand your customer, who's your customer? John, who's your customer? You've got quite a few, but who's your primary customer?
Our primary customer?
And no company names. No company names.
Yeah.
Just what type, what category.
Yeah.
Used cars, OEM, auction, if you have a way of evaluating that in a meaningful way.
I would say our primary at this point is OEM.
OEM.
We dedicate our trucks to the new stuff. And then after that, it's lease returns.
Lease
Cool.
returns. Okay, got it.
OEM and lease returns.
So while you're at the dealership dropping off the new cars, you might be able to get some lease turn-ins and bring them back. Is that kind of the idea?
Definitely.
Great. Okay, got it.
And then the other thing is auction to auction.
Right. So therefore, you're right. Once you've got a primary customer, you start building your backhauls and your lanes to match, right, headed in each way. So you're not. Do you do for OEMs? We know that. I mean, you can spend quite a bit of empty drive time, right?
Well, we try not to. That's why we try our lanes. We try to make sure that we have stuff going out to the Midwest, and then we pick up new stuff coming back to the East Coast. Good thing about being the East Coast, we got a lot of people that don't want to come here.
Hey, by the way, I want to mention this is that I needed to do this. I'm late on the cowbell for Lincoln Guzman. Lincoln of Futuro GT Logistics, and I shared in the live chat. Thank you so much for that. I do appreciate it. When we've got people piling into the round table. So keep on coming. Let's see here. While we're doing that, Ty, another one for John. You had some great stuff.
Yeah. So as we're talking about this, and the thing is, why I brought up Clubhouse, why I'm talking about car dealers, why I'm talking about guys that sell cars. The reason between all of that is knowing who your customer is. Say John's an OEM guy. John, you keep up with your customer. You're up on the latest of the OEM, right?
Oh, definitely. They're very strict on how you do it, what you do. 4 straps. They expect everything. They want to make sure. I mean, now they're to the point where we can't have anything sharp on our bodies. No belts. Because they don't want the car scratched.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have to follow the procedures, or otherwise we won't be doing our work.
Did you hear that?
I was talking to a guy. Yeah, he went to the manufacturing plant, and I think they kind of give you a rundown when you get to the security shack, zippers and whatnot, and right, all depending on who's at the shack. But yeah, there's actually a lot to think about, a lot more to think about than you might think about.
All right. So, go ahead, John.
I'm sorry. They're not going to let you in, too. I mean, there's a lot of safety, too, involved, that they want to make sure that nobody gets hurt when you're on their property. You got to have a vest on. Some of them want you to have a hard hat on. It's all the stuff that we have to make sure our guys have in the truck.
Hey, John, so what are you seeing right now as far as volume? How's your volume on the OEM? Because there's all these rumors about no chips, supply chains whacked out. all the different things. What's your volume like right now?
We're not seeing that right now. We're very, very busy. I don't know. We're trying to figure it out. It could have to do with all the snow we got, because nobody was really taking cars to dealership. We're saying don't drop them, but it's going crazy right now. We're hoping it stays this way.
Awesome. Jay, here's what I want to do. I want to go ahead and get started.
Great.
As people pile in, they can join and stuff. But I know I talked to Josh. Josh Thornton's over here next to John. And Josh.
And let me say one thing. As we go through, just for to minimize chaos, if you mute your mic, if you're not in the middle of a conversation, just be cognizant of that, and then we'll we'll try to continue. All right, thank you so much.
How many sneezes was that, Catherine?
Right? See,
wow.
if she had her mic on,
she
didn't. Too. So it was, the gentlest sneeze ever.
Bless you.
Yes, bless you.
All right. So we've got John. John has 18 Stingers. John's doing a lot of OEM. John does a lot of auctions, a lot of used cars. Next up, we've got Josh Thornton down in Mississippi. I talked to Josh a lot. I like Josh. He's actually, this guy's doing it right. Josh, welcome.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Good to see you. What are you not
Good to see you
tonight? What's up with that?
I'm in the office tonight, believe it or not, but I'm going to have to leave here before long.
Okay. Well, and by the way, here's the rule. Anybody needs to go, we understand.
No, I'm good for a little while.
All right. So what you got cooking? Where you at? Mississippi?
Yeah, we're in Mississippi, finishing up some stuff we had to do on some short lane there around the house, with a couple things.
Yep. You had a question you wanted to throw out here, and I'm glad I didn't hear the question.
Yeah, I'm
happy
glad
to go ahead.
I said I'm glad that Mr. John's on there too. He sounds, 18 Stinger. By the way, Mr. John, bless your heart for 18, 16 drivers there. I'm sure you have. Bless your heart on that. With that note, I had a few things that I guess questions, not necessarily concerns or anything, but why is it? I know I hadn't been in this business very long, Ty. You know how hard I've been at it for the last 3 years, and I live, sleep, breathe, everything about it, and follow a lot of instructions that you've given me and info, and it's worked pretty well. But the question I got is, you see these major companies, and I haul new car freight some, Mr. John. I do Teslas and stuff like that. I get calls all the time, obviously. Other brokers, I don't have direct work for. And, we do some of that. But my question is, some of these, I call them tire PLATEAUs as well as Ty, and that they're my favorite as well. But, you got these larger ones like CarMax, Zoom, Carvana, places of this nature. Why? Here's what I understand. They move. They give them to all these different brokers, and we all know the big name brokers from mediocre to large companies. All they do is bounce them around. They're using the same carriers to do the same work for the last 3 years I've been in. I know some of the same guys because they run stuff for me sometimes, and they're one truck guys, 3 truck guys. Guys got three car hauler, or the guy's got one or a 3, or he's just one run or operate. My point, those same guys run. They have figured it out. Been doing it for a couple of years, where they make a decent living, and run the same for United, Metro, or whoever it is. They run the same for CarMax, for an example. And all CarMax don't. I don't understand why they don't just get get them aboard and get their product faster way, instead of nickel and diamond people to death, and the same group of wind up money to get where they're happy at, and they're still not like they need to be getting moved.
Right. So the question is there are large used car dealers that have stores in different states, multiple stores. They bounce from broker to broker and end up ultimately using the same carriers for the same job. Is that the question?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, United Road, for example, they have their own trucks, right? We all know that. But their trucks never hardly do the work in some of these rural areas like Mississippi or Alabama or Louisiana.
Right.
You know.
So I've got a great answer, but I want to hear John's answer.
Go ahead.
Reason why is they want to take care of their customer, or what's happening, it's not in their lane. They're going to run the lane where they can make the most money, and they're going to sub out the rest of the work to somebody like you, because they need you, because they can't do it all, but they're the big guy and they can bid on it and they can take care of it because they have the trucks. I can't bid on that big stuff either. I have to depend on some of these other companies for the same reason, because I'm not big enough to be able to bid on it.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
So what John's saying is, these big brokers, they're got this big connection with these carriers, right, John?
Yes, they do. They got the contract.
Right. So here's what I say. I say they are better salespeople than you. Right? Some broker comes in and says, I can do it better than that broker. Well, how did he, what are we talking? 5 cents a car difference, maybe?
I don't know exactly what they make. Some of them I do. I've got some connections in with some of these big brokers, but you don't know if you can believe them 100%, but you can believe to an extent what CarMax want to do. But what Mr. John said, a lot of times they're not making their customer happy. They're not taking care of their customers, and so in certain areas. So that's my question, And I've talked to you about going straight to CarMax and telling them. I know we could handle a good bit more of most of their lanes. We could handle probably 100, 120, 150 cars a week more, and because we're already doing a lot of the work anyway.
Where's that outfit? Wow.
Yeah. All right. We're going to move on. Let's go. We'll get back to you, Josh. That's good.
I got you. I'm listening.
Hey, and before we move on, I just want to say again, if you're not in the middle of a conversation, go ahead and mute your mic. Like on my screen in the bottom, I've got a mute and I've got a stop video or start video or turn audio on, and sometimes you have to play with it. But if your mic is on, and like if you cough or somebody calls or the dog barks, we're going to go to your camera. We're going to miss something that somebody else said. So just please make note to check your mics. And on that, back to you, Ty. Thank you guys so much. And thank you for your time. I just want to say this too before I hand it back to Ty. We've got John and LouAnn from Finest. We've got Catherine from Futuro GT. We've got Lionel from CY Financial Solutions. John Cochran is in here. Carlos, ACB Logistics. Lawrence Moore is here. Mark at SuperFlo. Shannon Baity is with us. Andrew Sierka. And then Mack T. So thank you guys so much for joining us. And we've got more coming in, and there's a lot more to it. So everybody, again, make another round of popcorn. And thank you so much for your patience, man. This is really exciting, and so I just wanted to say that, and because I hadn't talked in a bit, I got tired of not talking,
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Jay.
Thanks, Jay.
Before we move on, John, did you want to add anything to Josh about the broker?
Yeah, I think he's gotta be patient. If he does a good job, they're going to get to know who he is, and that's the most important thing. That's where we are, because we do a good job. I pick up the phone, my dispatchers call, we get a phone call back. We usually get the car, and it's only because we do what we say we're going to do on time, and he's got to be patient, and he'll find out it'll come his way.
Right on. Good. You hear that, Josh? Stay patient. Keep doing what you're doing. All right, let's go to John and LouAnn.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, Ty, what's
How's
going on?
everything?
Great. So you guys are up in Northeast also, correct?
Yeah, we're in New Jersey too.
New Jersey. We'll meet John. There's
Hi,
John.
John.
There's
John, how are you?
John, we want to help you.
You guys are planning on moving to Florida, aren't you?
Yeah, the house went in a day. We figured we would test the waters, and it sold in a day. So
Good luck with that.
We'll see. We'll still be back and forth, but so we're here to help you.
you go. We can connect. You guys got emails and all that business, right, Jay?
Yeah.
You got John up there. Okay, great. So what are you guys seeing where you're at? The snow, last time we talked, snow is causing you a lot of trouble, a lot of
A
problems.
lot of trouble.
Yeah.
So where are you at on that? Is it gone yet, or are you still having trouble?
We're still finding some of the cars are buried. Now what we're starting to find is a lot of the cars are damaged. We're starting to pick up loads. The windshields are cracked. They have dents in them. We're really so we've been a lot bothering our just, you know, where we pick our work up from. We've been bothering them a lot more, so many more pictures, and not getting caught behind the 8 ball with that again. So it was a costly
That's
mistake.
on your lease,
as
that's on your lease
photos.
returns, right?
Yeah, no, they're auction cars. We
Auction
run a
cars.
lot through for ACB. We run a lot through for them, and a lot of the cars that we're finding have been damaged. I guess cleaning off the snow or whatever's going on, and you know they blamed us for 1 or 2 of them. I said it's not happening because we're so good. We have such an amazing reputation, and it really we can't damage that. So you know we have to keep happy on both sides. So yeah, the photos have really been a lot lately, right?
Yeah.
Taking a massive amount of pictures, and nothing's leaving unless both parties know what they bought and what's on its way. We can't move anything and be caught in the middle of being caused for the damage.
I've been seeing the dirtiness of these load boards lately.
A little bit.
They're very quick to blame the carriers, and Ty and Jay have spoke numerous times about this. They're quick to point the finger always at the carriers.
Easy.
But now with all the snow we've been having in the storms, the dealers are sending kids in the lots. They're cleaning the cars off with hammers and shovels, and they're breaking the windshield. So I'm just letting them know, I call on every car, we can't be carrying that burden. So if it's broken when I get there, they're going to know about it.
Yeah, that's what we're finding right now. We've done really good on catch up. There's a lot of work coming in. People are really starting to use us directly. Thank you, Ty, for
Buy here,
pay here. Good Lord. No complaints, but feeling really blessed. We're really, really busy. We're really, really tired, and it's really, really worth it.
Good. That's a great update. All right. Thank you so much. I'm going to go on to Lawrence. Lawrence, you got skipped when Jay was calling you there, buddy?
Hey.
No, I said his name, but I'm glad to be called out. What's up, Lawrence?
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Where are you at?
I'm in Miami.
Miami? What are you doing over there?
Because of the chip shortage, we're laid off in Bowling Green, Kentucky, with the Corvettes.
No kidding.
So
automotive news meets auto transport. Wow, that's amazing, Lawrence. I didn't know that.
But I'm an entrepreneur, so I got my little toys out here for rent.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, and you've got a salon too, isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
So if I come to Miami, I can rent your little, what are those back there?
Slingshots.
Slingshots, that's right. You've got a bunch of those, don't you?
Got 33 of them.
So now I do think John and LouAnn are planning on moving to Florida. So there's a connection, future connection. Lawrence is a driver for a union company, and they haul primarily only exclusive new cars, and Lawrence transports Corvettes. So tell us what happened again.
It's been a chip shortage, so a few of us are laid off still. It's probably been about 3 weeks now. So, I just came down to sunny Miami. This is where I'm originally from.
Yeah.
So
where are you at on you're starting your own business, or you're thinking about it, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe an enclosed that I can transport these bad boys because we have so many and we're trying to get more. So I can transport them for my own company. So
that'd be good. We've got another enclosed guy down here in the bottom, Andrew. We'll connect you guys later. Andrew's done a lot of homework and he's got some good tips maybe.
Yeah, the only issue with these here, they got a big tire in the middle. So at the back here. So it's a little different.
Yeah, it won't really drive up on a car hauler trailer very well, will it?
Right. No, it won't.
Be
won't
curious.
make it.
Yeah, Andrew, what do you think of that?
Sorry, I'm hitting the wrong buttons here. Very familiar with the quote unquote toy world like that. I've got a nice collection myself. You know, I think Lawrence's perspective of going enclosed for that is obviously the right thing to do. When you're doing, you know, that kind of enclosed work, though, as you know, the E-tracks are only going to work for those front two wheels, and you're going to have kind of an eye hook somewhere in the rear, you know, to get that rear tire tied down. But no, it's a great business model, and especially in Miami, those open air slingshots are, I'm sure, killing it on the rental game. So hats off to you, man. That's awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I reached out to what's the name of the company? Kentucky Trailers. They were saying that they can customize a trailer, but the max that they can haul, I think, is 7. So.
Yeah, Kentucky Trailer. That's Ernest Dandridge works with them, and they do customized trailers. Fairly interesting. Community.
Right.
So you're getting one big enough to put 7 of those in. What do you got to pull it with?
Tractor.
Yeah, twin screw.
I'm not sure. I just checked on the trailer, brand new. It's like 200 and some thousand for a custom trailer before taxes and all that good stuff.
Yeah. How much does a slingshot weigh?
I think they weigh about 5,000 pounds, maybe, if that.
Wow.
Maybe
heavier
3,000.
for sure. All right. So you're working on, you're technically laid off, I guess. Is that what they call it over there in your world?
Yes, laid off with pay.
Oh.
Unemployed.
Which is no, there's a term for that though. When you're temporarily laid off with pay, that's furlough, right?
Is that it's they get you unemployment, but normally, like, we have opportunities, like they're busy in Fort Wayne at the pickup plant there. So if we wanted to, we can go work at different places, but it's up to you.
I got it. Good. Well, that's awesome, man. I'm glad you made it. It's always good to see your face. I like talking to you too.
Likewise.
Move over to Catherine, see what's going on in Catherine's world. Catherine?
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Can you all hear me well? I'm not certain.
Oh, yeah. Here we go, Catherine. We're on. Here we go.
Hi, everyone. I just want to high five everybody on the call and everybody on the ATI team. I mean, everything's been really great, and a lot of that has been because of the information that you all share on all of the shows that you host, Jay, conversations with you, Ty, and even inner conversations that I've had with a couple of members of the roundtable, just one-on-one in between roundtables. So thank you. The last time we spoke, my struggle was finding drivers. And after LouAnn and John suggested, which I don't even know why it didn't come to me, but thank you. We put up an ad on Indeed and got a lot of responses. And so thank God we got some drivers.
That's roundtable. All right.
Yes.
Diamond hands.
Yeah, so thank you. And I just wanted to give a shout out to my first driver, Michael. Welcome aboard too. We got our shirts, Futuro GT Logistics in the house. So yeah, that was really great. And we continue to get people interested and applied. We're just trying to fill up the bench of drivers because we know that it's hard to sustain a quality driver for a long term. So we have the bench halfway full. We're still looking for more, but that was the most exciting thing. And so now it should be about 2 weeks before we're out on the road and actually hauling cars. But in the interim, we've been to dealers, auctions, making phone calls to people off of central dispatch and building relationships. And actually 2 or 3 have pretty much transitioned into possibly like long-term, steady commitments instead of just fishing off of the load board. I have a couple of potential brokers and transporters that we're going to see how we do for the first go round, and, you know, hopefully they like what we do, and then it'll be a routine thing. So that was great. Sending out and completing a lot of packets for the brokers and the transporters of, you know, to central dispatch. And thank you, Sue, for sending Lincoln over the brokers list. That was super helpful. It just condensed everything and saved a lot of time for us to just do a mass email request for these packets and stuff like that. The stars are aligning. I mean, we've been at this hardcore for months now, and it was all in the planning stages, you know, and now we're just into implementation and really looking forward to see how everything rolls out and get on the road. And we already foresee some things that are going to happen while you're on the road, just things that you know, that happen. So we have contingency plans in place for those things. So it's not, oh my God, what do we do now? We have what we need to do to execute and get back into operation mode. And that's kind of where we're at right now. So thank you to everyone for all of your feedback, suggestions. This has been a really interesting journey to go on, coming from corporate to then coming to this. It's just been eye-opening, but really exciting all at the same time. I'm a car lover myself, and so I get a kick now. You know, when I'm out on the street, I look at the cars, where they at, where they're going, who, you know, look for the little trademark of where they came from and stuff like that, and have no fear in going out and networking and talking to people. Even here in Florida, you know, a lot of the people are going to start going back up north. So if we start to see out-of-state tags, we're going to start to marketing materials, little flyers that we can just put on cars and whatnot if you want your automobile transported back to.
Good idea. That's good.
So yeah, you know,
follow the car.
Yeah. So
well, that's great.
About it.
And so you got your driver, and you're starting to see that talking to car dealers is not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm. No, it was never a bad idea. It was just a matter of going out there and doing it. So, you know, and it was challenging because the whole thing about just not having the driver, I don't know. I think I shared at the last roundtable that we went to a dealership and they actually had 4 cars for us to take right then and there. And I was like, oh, so, you know, that's a good problem to have.
Asking ye shall receive.
And I tell people that too, whenever I'm coaching. I said, now, look, when you go talk to these guys, you got to be careful because car dealers are crazy.
Yeah.
You walk in and you say you're a transport guy, they'll start throwing cars at you. So be careful when you go in.
Yeah, great. Lessons learned. A lot of lessons learned.
Wow.
John, you want to throw anything in here?
Well, I like to know, is she running a 4-car or is she running a 10-car?
5-car. 5-car hot shot on a dually.
On a dually, and are you running up north?
Not yet. Right now, we just got our driver, and in about a week or 2, we should be out on the road. So for now, we're thinking, especially with all that crazy weather, we were just going to stay within Florida, maybe go up to Georgia, but we were trying to avoid the weather. But definitely, I mean, I had, with all the snowbirds that are here, and I frequent the beach often, there's a lot of opportunity for people they return home after, you know, Easter, and they're going up north. So it's definitely something that's on the radar that we're definitely considering to expand on.
There's a lot of things you can do as far as picking up the snowbirds, getting them back to a yard for us so that we can put them on our trucks and bring them north. I mean, our company will not have our guys do directs. We use terminals down. So that is, when the snowbirds are coming north, they need somebody to pick up these cars and get them to a location. The truck can come in and load them up and just, you know, come up north.
Yep.
That's a great idea. And see, this is what Jay, go, somebody say something?
No, I think you're good. Keep going.
Well, Jay has these big guests on that do these, you know, there's Driver, there's Acertus, there was Carketta, there's PLATEAU. Anyway, what we're starting to see, and I don't know about John, I want to hear John's thoughts, but you know, this terminal concept, especially with the snowbirds or these, moving my kid's car to the college or whatever it is. I thought, wouldn't it be cool, John, again, I want to hear what you say, but wouldn't it be cool if with this terminal idea was actually at the dealership?
Yeah, I think the dealerships probably don't have enough room to be able to store the cars for us.
Yeah.
We're finding out the best place to do is a park and fly or something like that at the airports.
Oh, okay.
You know, or
Which
we'll
is
find a
why,
terminal.
John, look
Right.
for Park My Fleet. There are companies working on solutions for this. Really interesting stuff.
Right, and we see it all the time. Like I said, you know, we're doing over 800 snowbirds, so you know, we got to have the right people picking them up and doing good inspections when they're picked up, and then it's really convenient for us to have our guys just come pick them up and just head up north.
Okay, good. All right, Catherine, we love having you here. It's so good I love it when you get your little notes out and you give us the rundown, the shakedown.
I like that too. I don't have near as many notes as she does, and I take offense to that.
Well, definitely doing a good job. Okay.
Well, thank you, John. I appreciate it. And if there's anything we can do to help transport those cars back up north, we are here to help.
Just call the office, give us your number. You know, you might be able to help us out.
Awesome. Thank you.
Good. Another good connection. So we're making connections, and that's what I like. That's what I like. Okay, Mark, SuperFlo Dispatch Center. Mark's here with us tonight. Mark, what's going on in your world?
Hey, guys. Doing pretty good. Pretty good. Did you know, Ty, that I started out with one tow truck back in 1998, I think? Maybe, no, 1996. Brian and I started out with one tow truck. We went to Reading, Pennsylvania, and I said, "How did you find a truck in Reading, Pennsylvania?" And he goes, off the internet, but it wasn't the internet back then. It was the information superhighway. And I said, "How did you do that?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's on there." I said, "People sell stuff online like that?" And he goes, "Yeah." So we went out and drove around the truck and looked at it and handed the guy the check and was like, "Hey, I had a CDL. I knew how to drive trucks, but I never had driven a tow truck. And we were going to start a tow company with a guy at the firehouse with us. And then the guy, we drove in a car. We got there and had no idea how to hook up a car and said, "Hey, this car that we drove here in, could you show us how to hook it up to the truck, and I'll just drive the truck back, and that way Brian doesn't have to drive the car back. We'll just ride in the truck together." And this guy's going, "You guys are going to start a tow company, huh?"
Mm-hmm.
And laughing at us. And we had 27-ish tractor trailers, drivers in the end as well. So
no, I didn't know that at all.
No, I didn't either. That was a great story, man.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that was fun. Starting out with one truck, and here we are today.
Great.
Smart, and got into software.
Good deal.
So,
Good. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. We're going to probably end up
You're
coming
welcome.
back around to you here in a little bit. I'm going to keep it
Good.
short with you.
And thanks. Okay, I just had to get that in there. Thank you for ringing the cowbell and supporting the channel. Really do appreciate your help, Mark.
You're welcome. Love the channel.
Lionel, what are you doing here?
What am I doing here, man? I wouldn't miss this for the world.
Dude, we love having you so much. I'm always call Lionel.
I gotta be careful. I gotta be careful tonight. My boss is listening.
Oh, okay, got it.
Linda's on the super chat.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you so much.
Well, so for everybody that doesn't know, Lionel, what we've done, and it's organic. And this, again, John, I think John would agree over here, but if you're doing your business and you're doing it right, it's a natural organic growth. What do you think, John?
Definitely. You just got to work at it.
Yeah. Just being patient, like you were telling Josh, just being patient, sticking with your morals, your values, your ethics, setting that standard. We do it right. And the beautiful thing about Jay's show is we are literally seeing organic growth. Okay. So Lionel, I met Lionel through LinkedIn. I don't I sent him a message, happy birthday or Merry Christmas, whatever it was. Didn't really know the guy. We ended up talking, and I said, man, you're an insurance guy. Why don't you come on the show? So we go back and forth. And this, how long has it been, Lionel? Maybe a year now?
Wow, it's been over a year now.
Okay.
Been well over a year.
The beautiful part about it is that if anybody in this room loves insurance, raise your hand. Right?
And nobody's going to do that.
John Cochran raised his hand. Well, we'll get to John after we get to Lionel. But it's beautiful because of these relationships. Lionel has a background in car hauling. Lionel knows the pain of a 1-ton and a 3-car. Lionel gets it. And you don't find a guy that does insurance as well as car hauling experience that you can go to. And again, it's a safe place. We love Lionel. His approach is gentle. It's soft. It allows you to ask the questions that most people might slap you around for asking. But we really, really appreciate Mark. We really appreciate Lionel. Then we've got Brian, compliance, that's what I call him. He's our DOT guy, Sue. So anyway, seeing these people here and having them be a part and come on the show and help us navigate through this is priceless for us. So thank you, Lionel.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah. What's going on in your world?
Man, you're here.
Just got a little carried away.
That's all right. I just want to say thanks to Josh, if I haven't already. Had a guy down there broke down in Alabama, and he led him into one of his hydraulic supply places, and Josh helped us get him out of there. If he didn't know that, I just want to reiterate and really help you guys understand how much this works as a family. I'm up in Pennsylvania. He's broke down in Alabama, and that show, I think the night before, you had Josh on that I knew was running that lane. And then sometimes that's what it's about. As an insurance agent directly, I don't just have guys calling me for insurance. I told him, I said, they get caught in the situation, whatever the situation is, I say, I may have somebody somewhere. So, you think of me as a resource if you get broke down or you run into any significant problems or anything. And hooked up with Josh. Josh got us the part that he needed, the cylinder that he needed, and the guy repaired his trailer and kept on his run up to Tennessee.
Wow.
I want to. That's such a great thing you just said, Lionel, because sometimes it's not an expert you reach out to first. It's someone that you feel you can talk to. Right?
Yeah. That's
an awesome story, man.
It's networking. It's knowing the right people.
Yeah, because like I said, I keep my phone open. My wife gets aggravated about it, but
Linda.
Talking all times of morning and night, but I don't want anybody to be left out there because she knows because she was out there with me. 15 degrees, loading cars, raw steel trailer, you fall, you know what I mean? All the little pitfalls and stuff that you're dealing with, and you out there on your own, man. It's tough.
Yeah, it is tough. And who calls their insurance agent for help besides nobody, right? So, that's another example as to how amazing this community is. And Josh, connection. I mean, Lionel shot me a text. I'm like, yeah, call Josh. He might be, I don't know. And Josh came through. So that's kind of the point here. Now we've got John up there that we know. We've got John. And so these relationships, I'm telling you, they're very valuable, right, John?
Yes, they are. And like I said, you got to meet a lot of people and just keep their names, keep their numbers, and just work with them.
Totally agree.
Good. Okay. Well, Lionel, I'm sure we always come back to Lionel and Mark later at the end, but now I want to go to John was next. Carlos, I'm going to skip you for a second. I don't know what happened there, but John, are you on there? Cochran?
Yeah, I'm here.
John, where are you from? What are you doing?
I'm in D.C. I live in the D.C. area. I actually, right now, I'm working for a public transportation, the county government, driving those 40-foot public transportation buses. I'm doing the shuttle right now, so I'm not driving a bus. Don't get scared. But I want to get into auto transport. I actually drove a repossession truck, and I drove a Take 3 trailer with an F-350 dually for the repossession company, and I've always liked it. So I've always wanted to get the auto transportation business. I'm actually have leads on truck and stuff like that, but I haven't started transporting yet. This is my first roundtable call.
Oh, good. Okay, so we talked briefly, right?
Yeah, I actually went to a dealership, like you said, and he said that they transport their cars through the porters. They got like 20 porters, and I was like, all right, well, I know a few other dealerships. Like I said, I live near 20 dealerships, so it's not like it's that serious. I mean, I live right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
But
I'm curious to know what John's advice is, because I always say short mile, long dollar. And one of the things I say is, if you got a 1-ton and a 3 car, John, this is what I say, and John, you check me if I'm right or wrong. I always say keep a short radius, a small circle. If you've got that 1-ton, and I always try to keep it maybe 150 mile and less, you're going to see your dollar per mile go up, and you're going to, what worked for me, and I don't know, but I would run these short runs, just keep doing them. And I found out these guys go a little farther out. So as I grew my fleet, I was able to accommodate them going to other places to buy other cars. John, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, you gotta keep it tight, especially because the cost of the truck and the wear and tear. These trucks, for what you pay for them, they're not expensive as buying a bigger truck, but they do wear out quicker. A lot of people make that mistake. They'll buy a brand new truck and they'll say, hey, the expense isn't that high, but then they find out they put 300,000-400,000 miles on the truck and they wore it out before the load payments are over. So you have to be careful with that. That's why you want to stay local.
All right.
Keep that, the closer you keep it, and that's what I think I even told you that, John, didn't I?
Yes.
I'm not bugging you, but I'm telling you, just know in advance, these 1-tons, 450s, 550s, they are not built for what we do, period. Okay. Now that's what you've got. We'll make it work, but there's a smart way to make it work. And that smart way is get in tight with somebody that knows what they're doing. John may not be your guy, but point being, there's always that short stuff that nobody really wants to mess with. And if the more you mess with it, one of the key factors, the big thing, in my opinion, is the more they see your face, the more they see your truck, the more they understand where you go and what you do, the more they'll give you. Is that fair, John?
Yeah, it's fair. You got to remember in your area too, the DC area and stuff, you have some auctions and stuff down there too. So you could start going to the auction and meeting some people down there at the auction. You get a couple accounts that'll get you going, but just remember, keep your overhead down. Keep it. Don't get high. You start too much money, you're going to be really working hard to make money.
Yeah. When you say go to the auction, do you mean like go to the where the transporters load and just meet the transporters and people there, or go actually inside the auction?
You want to go to the auction and see who's dropping, what dealerships they're picking up cars.
Okay.
And stuff. You want to see who they are. You want to go during the sale day. Sometimes you come with flyers or something, they're liable to throw you out. But if you can meet a couple of people in your area that are buying cars, that's where you want to start.
Okay. All right.
Oh, so what he's saying there, John Cochran, is he's saying, go ahead and try to get it. Here's what I tell guys. You do this at your own risk, because John's right. They will throw you out. So you can play this game, and I don't know why we got to play a freaking game. We're a transport company. We're not there to expose how much a car is being sold for at the auction. We're there to transport cars, but let's make it real complicated for the car hauler. Okay, that makes sense. The guy that's doing the job for your customer, Mr. Auction. See how my face changes colors?
Yeah.
There's a reason.
That's right.
So anyway, here's some tricks that sometimes work, sometimes don't, especially depending upon where you are. So do it at your own risk. I tell guys, go in the transport parking lot. I'm here to get a car. You go down to the lanes. Okay, what is the lane? The lane is where they run the cars. You're not there to screw with anybody. You're not there to mess anything up. You're not there to steal anything. You're there to ask the car dealer, hey, where are you from?
Right.
That's it.
Okay.
So, Josh, go ahead.
I got something that may help him that I figured out with all this crap going on where they not letting you go to the auction. Me and you spoke about it last year about them. They was even weird back then. I actually have my dealer's license now, so I did that and wanted to buy a few cars, but I did that just where I could go in there and talk to them too, and it worked like a charm. But if you go there the day after the auction, a lot of these small dealers that do, especially if you're going to get a 3 or 4 car hauler, they're there. They don't want to go get their own stuff half the time. They bought 5 cars. They don't mind driving one home that day or maybe coming back the next day getting 1 or 2, or they'll have some flunkies that work for them or whatever, depending on the size of the lot. But even a guy that's got 30 or 40 on his lot, he'll be there the next day, or either he'll have somebody there that works for him that's pretty close with him, tell him 2 or 3 cars, you won't have a problem getting 2 or 3 cars here, 2 or 3 cars here for these different dealers. Now, larger trucks, 7 cars, 8 cars, they take a little more.
That's good. Hey, so okay, I like it, Josh. Let's go to the moment. Ty. So there he is. He's at the auction the day after. I mean, real advice. What's he do now? Right? What does he wear? What does he say? What does he hold up a sign? What does he do?
Well,
stand around with donuts? What do you do?
It's fun because if you just watch Friday, Cars on the Move, how many times do I reel in a car dealer?
Yeah.
How does it start? Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy.
That's right.
Hey, buddy.
There's your opening line. Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy. Are you a dealer?
That worked for me.
Yeah. Yeah, and it really does. And these guys, Josh is absolutely right, by the way. John, what are your thoughts?
The other thing, too, is that, it doesn't have to be a new car dealer. The used car dealers buy a lot more cars. Those are the ones you're really going to see at the auction. The dealers themselves are taking them to the auction. So you want to hit all those little, used car dealerships because they're the ones that are buying the cars.
Yeah, which is number 2 on Ty's 5 list. Independent car lot. And those are the guys, what Josh said and what John's trying to figure out. After sale day is great, or sale day after sale. Sale day is Tuesday, sale's over at noon. You're there at noon, you hang out till 2. Just watch. After sale day, that's where you see Ty every Friday, hanging out in the transport parking lot. Day after sale, Josh is right. Good job, Josh. Thanks for saying that. I appreciate that.
One thing, Ty, like Mr. John said, a lot of times your bigger used car lots will have a buyer. You talk to that buyer, he kind of act like he'll blow you off, but you give him your number, and when he goes back to talk to his big boss, say, hey, man, there's a guy down there. They can't move many, but a lot of times, even big buyers, they buy from 5 different auctions, so they still buy 4 or 5, and you may get 10 to move. Never know, but good point.
Have business cards ready. I want to say this, John. I admire what you're doing. You're hitting the pavement. You're trying to make things happen. Good job, man.
Yeah.
I got one more question, if I could ask.
Sure.
I got a little bit of chunk of change, and if I quit my job that I do to take on this venture, I mean, how much do you think that I would say to need to start? Like, how much money down? Startup costs, I guess, would be the proper term. I mean, I got a little bit of money that I can spend, and I just want to know if I got enough, or do I need to keep working for a few more months?
Okay, John, I'm going to let John go because I've got an answer, but I want to hear John's take, and there's a lot of missing variables. So when Mr. John talks to John, there may be some variables that we're missing, but go ahead, John. Mr. John.
That's a real tough one because he's got to make sure that he takes care of himself. I don't know what his expenses are at home or whatever, but he's got to figure by the time he gets set up, he moves, he does the billing. They're not going to pay you right away. You're going to have expenses with fuel, your insurance, all your other stuff. You got at least, 2 months. You got 2-3 months, worth to make sure that you have enough to take care of your own personal bills and then take care of your bills on top of that.
Okay.
So that's where I say 6 months cash. Now, everybody's got different theories on money, right? We all have our own money, how we learned about money. One of the things that I've done in the past, especially starting out, and John, I want to hear your thoughts, is I don't use any of my money, or as little as possible. I use the bank's money. Now, to get to that place, what's the number one requirement? Decent credit score, or preferably a good credit score. And what I do is I'll go in, you know, if I need a truck, I need a trailer, I got to put down an insurance premium. Okay, that's 75 grand. We're just random.
Also, Ty, they consider your payment on your insurance based on your credit too. So your payment could end up higher if you got bad credit on your insurance.
Yeah, and Lionel is absolutely right, and that's part of the conversation when we're starting is 6 months cash stashed and a good credit score. Why? Lionel.
And I would even venture to say 8 months to a year. I would say 8 months to a year, because initially as a startup, you're not going to have many people that want to work with you because you're just new in the game and you don't have that experience. So even if, you know, you have everything up and running, unfortunately, you just got to wait and pay your dues before you really start to develop those relationships. So even the first few months of operation are going to be a little slower.
Definitely.
John, go ahead, Mr. John.
Yeah, definitely. They're going to, like I said, 6 months to me. If she's saying a little longer, I agree with that 100%, because the money's not going to come in like, you know, unless you do your work and you set everything up before and you know it's going to be there. But in most cases, that doesn't happen. There's no guarantees in this business.
That's right. One of the things, and Josh will tell you this, I even rail on Josh, save money, save more money. And
right.
Josh's problem is which I predicted. I think, Josh, your problem is going to be I have too many cars to move. Is that right, Josh? Yeah.
That's not a problem. You just get somebody to help you do it.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I know that's hard to do, Mr. John.
Yeah, we can always go buy another truck
deal.
and trailer. That's the easy part. It's getting the work, finding the drivers, blah 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 blah. Right. So back to what's in it. It was a simple question. What's the startup cost?
Okay.
It could be.
Startup cost is save a lot of money.
That's what I'm saying. Just make sure you're safe for 6 months. So if you have to, you know, the whole thing is once you sign for a truck and you buy a truck and stuff, you're stuck. You know, once you get your insurance and everything, you've made that commitment, and you're gonna have to work at it. You know.
I was thinking about buying a little older of a truck.
Well, one of the things, and John, I'm always so happy Mr. John's here, because what I tell guys, I say, skip the 1 ton, the 450, the 550, the 5500, just skip it. Oh, what am I supposed to get? Get a beer truck. I always say, go get the beer truck. Everybody says, what's the beer truck? I said, you see them all the time behind the gas station unloading Coke and beer. It's the little Freightliner M2 business class, some Mercedes motor, I don't know. You can go buy those all day long for 20 grand and they run, right? And it's built to stop, take corners. I mean, it's a cheap truck that you can usually buy cheap. And when you're like, man, I don't want this anymore, you can usually sell it for pretty darn close to what you bought it for, right, John? Mr. John?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, and the thing with them is they'll build for the weight, they'll build for the mileage. Where, you know, with a dually and stuff, they're not. You know, you're spending a lot of money on a truck, and they don't hold up. They wear out quicker than you want them to.
All right.
Good. Okay, so John Cochran has my number. John's going to be in touch with me later, so we're not leaving him out to hang and dry. We're just happy that he's here. Thanks for coming. Now, I'm excited to talk to Shannon. Shannon's got some interesting information, some updates for us. So, Shannon, what do you got?
Hey, guys. How's it going? Appreciate you having me on the show again. You guys do a great job, and appreciate all the help and input I get from the community. But in the last week, I've actually landed a contract with Manheim as of last week. So it took me about a week or so to schedule an appointment with the ops manager. That went well, and I got notified last week that I got that contract. So Now I'm actually looking at scaling my equipment after the accident that I was in. I had a 1-ton truck and a 2-car hauler. So now actually looking at getting a Stinger. So I'm going to make a trip down to Kansas on Thursday, looking at getting a bigger truck. So.
Well, now's your time to talk to Mr. John.
Congratulations, man. That is amazing.
Thank you.
Dude.
Thank you.
Wow.
Go ahead and ask Mr. John some of the questions you're asking me when I said that's just what car haulers do. It's a car hauler. Come and get it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I'm in the market shopping for a Stinger, and I've never purchased a semi truck before, so I'm just trying to be diligent. But car haulers, as handy as they are, can make repairs on the road and probably fly if you ask them to. So I'm in the process of getting my cape, but I'm just learning as much as I can. So.
Well, you're looking at it's a Sterling day cab, 9-car Stinger with a Cottrell rack and I don't know which model that is, but it's a quick loader. I want to say C12 maybe.
It's a CX9.
CX9, okay.
Yeah.
So how many miles are on it?
On the car hauler, I think it's just a couple 100,000. It's pretty low mileage, and actually on the truck itself, I think it's got like 100,000 miles on the rebuilt motor. So I think the truck is in pretty good shape from what I understand. But going to be looking at that, and some Peterbilts that are also in that area too. So
you're actually, sorry to interrupt you. You're actually coming to Kansas City, and we're actually going to meet. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and he's actually. I know a guy in Kansas City that has a good, what I would call a good starter truck. By the way, Shannon, I wasn't paying attention. I was texting, but did you tell him the good news about your account?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Okay, great. So he's got this new account. He's growing. So because of, again, Jay's show platform, we meet guys grow their business. I know somebody who's got a truck. There may be one where he lives, but I know somebody, and I know the guy takes care of it. So
right.
Funny to see how things connect and come together. I'm gonna pause right here. I got a text, Matt. I'm gonna skip you for just a second. I'm gonna go to Andrew. Andrew's got to go. Andrew, and I'll probably come back to Shannon too. But Andrew, what do you got cooking?
Well, still waiting on that new Sundowner. First of all, I'm based out of Scottsdale, Arizona. I'm exotic and classic car specialist transporter. Not only do I transport, I got a couple of, value-added services that I kind of include that kind of put me above the competition per se. But I'm working out a stint at American Express that I promised a family friend who I work for that I would stay until the end of the year. So doing that while I currently drive exclusively for 2 large private collectors. Combined, they've got a car, it's about 500 vehicles in warehouses throughout the Southwest and Midwest. So reason I got to get off is I got to get 2 cars to Colorado Springs by about 8 a.m. So I've got a long night of driving ahead of me. I got to go pick them up here in a little bit. But I think this channel, it's not necessarily more gauged towards my niche. It's more towards you guys. But I think it's really important to understand, at least what I've seen, building up my clientele for when I do start driving full time. But these 2 collectors, I met them through my dad, who has a smaller collection. And from there, it's very, very simple, but I just stuck to my word. I did what I said I was going to do. I showed up when I said I was going to show up. I got the cars there exactly the way I said I was going to get them there. I had my value-added services ready to go that I had spoken with them about. In plain and simple, they loved what it was, and I was getting phone calls asking me to haul other collectors' cars. However, I can't because I got to keep the day job. It's just, I'm a man of my word, and it was a promise that I'd stay till the end of the year. So I got to stick it out. But, just relationships, guys, and doing what you say you're going to do. Car hauling is not easy, but, on a very fundamental basis, if you show up presentable, do what you say you're going to do, there's no reason for them to look anywhere else, for anybody else to haul another car. So appreciate the opportunity, guys.
And I want to say this is that I appreciate what you just said. And I see another, some kind of a feature segment, where you've got car collectors and closed trailers, your segment, and that company, bringyourtrailer.com, that gets some attention. So there's a conversation there I look forward to. Maybe we can put something together in the future.
Yeah, definitely. I'm actually getting in contact with one of the guys. I have a meeting with one of them that does their podcast from Bring a Trailer. So I'll definitely reach out to you, Jay, and let you know how that goes. And when I start driving full time in November, I'm sure maybe you and I can talk with Ty and we can get some kind of segment going for more guys that are curious about the enclosed game. I'd be very interested.
Yeah, and it could be beneficial because I know I've heard some rumblings about they're making transport deals, so it's not, you don't have to bring your trailer anymore. Bring a trailer, like you said. You can work with a transport company they're already hooked up with, and that's the way things are moving forward in this hybridization. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Andrew.
Yeah, no, and one last thing I wanted to touch on for you guys, at least in terms of my pricing, I've advertised to the car collectors that have been reaching out to me, what I'm going to be charging, for certain mile runs. And surprisingly, none of them complain about it. I mean, yeah, granted, car collector guys typically, generally speaking, have some more coin in their pocket as to just an everyday person who wants to transport a whatever car. But know your worth, do what you say you're going to do, and then have your price back that up. Don't be afraid to ask for the price that you want. However, you better be able to back that up, hard work, and doing exactly what you say you're going to do. So long and short, don't be afraid to ask for your price, but make sure you back that up.
Yeah, that's good. So Andrew organically has become my enclosed guy. So when somebody, because of Jay's show, goes to Auto Transport Intel Insider, signs up, I talk to them. If they say the word enclosed, I'll go ahead and talk to them and have a decent conversation. But then I pass them on to Andrew. And I love that because I don't know anything about enclosed. And Andrew loves it too because he gets to talk about more and he gets to build these relationships with people from different parts of the country. So again, I love Andrew and I'm happy that we have this ability to connect with the guys that don't even think like Ty.
And there's your common thread, because even John Larick said it earlier, is there's going to be, you're going to have a customer that needs a transport, it's out of your area, and now you've got to go to somebody to make that move happen. So you always want to have in your network people out of your network.
That's good. All right, Andrew, get on the road. Thanks for coming, man.
Appreciate you guys. Have a good evening.
Yeah.
All right.
Appreciate you. Thank you,
Be
Andrew.
safe. All right, Matt, we skipped Carlos. Mac, I'm going to hold you.
We always do that. Why?
I don't know why I skipped Carlos. He's our favorite. Carlos, what are you doing?
He's our rock. We always count on him. That's why we know we can count on him.
Hey everybody, how are you?
Good. What are you doing? Where are you at?
I'm at the house right now. I'm going to Louisville in the morning.
Wow, you're never at home.
Very seldom.
So tell us, what do you do? You've been in it a while, right?
5 years, yes.
What you got?
5503 car. I'm getting ready to get my 5 car.
Okay, you're gonna put a 5 car behind the 5500?
Yes.
Okay, what year's your 5500?
The 17.
Okay, good. So no bugs with that one. It's running good. The new one's got the bug, right?
Right. The 19s and 20s, yes.
Yeah, they got some pretty bad issue, I think, from what I hear. A lot of those are in the shop. So now, if I remember right, tell me if I'm right or wrong, but you are pretty good friends with Sue. Is that right?
Yeah, she's my dispatcher.
Sue's your dispatcher. So Carlos has been doing it 5 years. Carlos has a 5500. Right now, a 3 car. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And Carlos has a dispatcher, Sue. She's on the show, right? And she keeps you busy?
For the most part, yes. It's still kind of tough out there right now. So it's a hit and miss, especially with that snowstorm covering most of the country last week. It's been a little difficult, but I actually went to Florida and run from Florida to Louisiana. So.
Good. Okay. So I'm just curious because you're always in the live chat. You're at every show, right?
Right.
And every Friday I always think about you because I'm like, I wonder if sometimes I offend you.
No, not at all. I have thick skin.
I love it, man. Just put it right out there.
Like I'm always talking about, go get your own customers, talk to people, build a lane. That's me yapping, and I don't think I do. I try not to, but I don't make fun of anybody that wants to be a load board and have a dispatcher. Is that right?
Right.
And there's reasons. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. So basically, he's an owner-up, right? At this point, he uses somebody to do his dispatch.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yeah. And then for John, Mr. John and Ty, this is a new world, right? It's because of my relationship with Jay. That's the only reason I even have a clue what we're talking about. So Mr. John may find this a little bit weird. Do you know about this, Mr. John?
Not at all. I as far as the dispatch, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I'm
tell us what a dispatcher is, Mr. John.
Yeah. Well, we have fun with our dispatchers. I'll tell you
exactly.
That much
You have in-house dispatchers. That's right.
Yes.
And you count on them. I mean, you know, they're important links in the chain. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And there's days they don't like me.
Exactly. Well, what carrier, including Carlos, is always happy with this dispatcher, right? I always say it like this. I say, your mind is a dangerous neighborhood. Don't go there alone.
I've always said, though, if you're an owner-op, if you have a good dispatcher or a service, it works because you don't have the time to take care of that. You're out there trying to take care of the customer, deliver the car, come back and forth. And if you can get somebody else to take care of your phone calls during the day and book your truck, that's a win-win all the way. It really is.
Yeah. So the reason I asked Carlos if he was upset with me or if I get under his nerves or skin is because I'm the guy that's always yapping. So as I've been able to talk to more and more people that come in, I'm real careful. What do you want to be like in 5 years?
I just tried the dispatch thing because I wanted to experience every aspect of this business. So I decided to get a dispatcher to see how it works. So far, it's been okay. But I want to go back to building my own lanes again and have my own relationships again, like you always preach. So I'll get back to that here probably another year or so.
Wow.
Try to make that work out.
Go ahead.
So basically, she's booking your truck, then you're not getting your own freight at this point.
Correct.
Okay. And you found out with the 3-car and stuff, you've made enough money that you're ready to move up to a 5-car.
Yes.
Okay.
I got a question for you, Mr. John. So do you ever find times where you go to the load board to fill in gaps, holes, or otherwise, or does that not happen?
No, we do.
You do.
We do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, pretty much everybody does do that at some point, but it's 20% of the time or less, maybe.
Yeah, 10%.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do. You have to, because somebody will cancel on you. You need a car at the last minute, or you have to go into a certain area and you need stuff out. You're going to grab what you can to get back home.
There you go. All right. So there's nothing wrong with the load board. There's nothing wrong with the dispatcher. It may not be the best way, but it can be depending upon what you want to do with your business. Okay. That's what I always emphasize. This is your business. Okay. So here's what I know. Here's what you know. Here's what I've learned. It's your business. Let's decide where you want to go. And I really appreciate what Carlos said. Go ahead, Carlos.
Guy, what's his name? John, the one thinking about getting into the business, one's in DC.
Oh, yeah. John Cochran.
Definitely try not to get a 1-ton or a 2-ton. If you get a class 5, try to get, like you said, the drink truck or the M2, because that's my ultimate goal, is to get one of those, because I don't have to worry about the maintenance on it as much, because I do my own maintenance. And trust me, I keep my maintenance on point with my truck. That's why I don't have any problems with it.
Good. Yeah. And that's incredible. I always appreciate when somebody says what I'm always saying. It validates. It makes me feel good, and we all like to feel good, right?
Hey, speaking of, okay, hey, I got a cowbell. We've got Nick Medor in the live chat with $50 super chat. Nick he's been here many shows, and in fact, yeah. So MVS. I asked Nick for his company information, link, and anybody. If you want to share, if you see somebody you want to connect to, let me know. autotransportintel@gmail.com. I shared Ty's phone number. If you've got company information, phone number, email address, maybe you're looking for a driver, whatever it is, I want you to feel like you can use the live chat, you can use the YouTube comments. And again, I just really appreciate the support and help, because I gotta tell you, I love what I'm seeing in these roundtables. This is amazing. In fact, I don't think this has ever happened before. So thank you all so much, and I just wanted to say that. Station identification, and back to you.
Good. Okay, I just looked at my clock. I'm okay. I'm sure if anybody, here's again back to the rule. If you got to go, thank you. I'm gonna do. Bye, Josh. Thanks so much. Good to see you.
Ty, I got one thing, and y'all been touching this point about what trucks to buy. This goes, and me and you discussed it many times, and I want to push it back to Mr. John over here. I know guys that have as many Stingers he has, or pretty close to the amount he has. And I've already talked to you about this, so I kind of know halfway the answer. But this is my question: when you go buy a new truck, and if you look at the market the way it is, and no offense to nobody that I know somebody's business, but I know about what one Stinger can make. Now, it's not. I don't care who you are. I know there's a max dollar with one driver in the truck on the ELD doing it legit. I know about what it takes, what that truck can make. I know the max dollar about what it can make for any company. That being said, you know, these new engines from say 2013, and these Pete's to 2019, these motors just don't, these trucks have a lot of problems at these engines, about 500,000. Why do you think we see so many, Mr. John? Why do we see so many 15, 16, 17 models, 380, 400,000? Y'all getting rid of them. So I'm just asking for real. What do? Do you spend that 200,000 on a truck that's got 385,000 miles, or do you go buy a new one with say 40 or 50,000 down?
We rotate our trucks. We're getting rid of them at 4 years. We won't buy a truck without an extended warranty on it. These trucks really do have a lot of breakdowns. Go in the shop a lot. Without the extended warranty, you're going to be paying a lot of money. We just found out, a lot of people say, hey, try to get what you can out of the truck, keep it as long as you can. We're finding out that after the 4th year, they're starting to cost us a lot of money.
Yeah, that's kind of my question. I've run some older Stingers with the N14s and the C15, 6NZs and stuff like that. We've had good look at the engines, but when you get 800,000 miles, or 1 million miles on the body, that other stuff can cost you just as much money. So it's dang if you do, dang if you do. Don't with the older trucks, you know.
Exactly.
Even if you find a good.
Those were the good old days. They should have never did away with those motors. They ran forever. You'd go 1 million miles without doing an in-frame, you know. So now you're not getting that out of a truck.
Yeah, I know, and that's why I think that I'm having to go with a little different route than what I want to do. I want to buy Stingers, but I don't have. I'm not where I want to be right now. Even man, if I had the drivers, maybe so, but I just can't go spend 300,000 on the market when I can take, as Ty knows, I'm looking at a great deal on an older truck with only 200-something thousand. It'll haul 8 cars. You know, it's got 270,000 on C12 cat. So, and the truck's immaculate for what I can get for a fraction of the price. What I can go buy a 17 Peterbilt for, and the truck will make the same money, you know?
Exactly.
So that's kind of where I'm at right now with it. I just kind of want to get your input on that, and I appreciate it, guys. Ty, always. Jay, you're awesome. Appreciate you, Mr. John. Y'all have a good night.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you so much, Josh. Yeah, that was awesome.
Okay. Lightning round for the guys who've been hanging on. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 left. So
yeah, we gotta get to Mack, KJS. Yes, we have to.
Chris.
And then John at Finest.
Okay. All right. So Mack, where'd Mack go? There's Mack.
Hey.
Hey, buddy. Where you at?
Hey, Ty. I'm here on the Iowa-Missouri border between Kansas City and Des Moines.
All right.
We spoke briefly about a couple weeks ago. I'm a guppy or a minnow, if everyone else is a whale. I've got a half-ton pickup and a 1-car trailer, but I've been making money so far. I did a trip out to New York for a family friend for like $1.20 a mile, and then I picked up 2 loads off the load board on the way back.
Pause for a second. Hey, Mack,
yeah.
Where's your microphone at?
Right here. Is it fuzzy?
It's just a little loud. Anybody else?
Oh,
I don't know why. I don't know why. Yeah, there you go.
I'm just loud.
But I have the same problem.
Well,
All right, go ahead. Thanks.
Mack's in Kansas City. Mack, through Jay's show, I think, right? Mack, how'd you find us?
Through Auto Transport Intel, just searching on Google for information on how to do this job and how to get into it, and I try to learn lessons from other people instead of learning them hard myself if I can.
Right. So Mack calls me. By the way, Mr. John, I used to have a fleet of 20 Stingers, and I know. So now I get a phone call from Mack, who has what was it? A half ton?
Yep, a half ton and a 1-car trailer.
1-car trailer. Now, Mr. John, and I'll go ahead and I'll be honest, that phone call, that's a hard phone call, right? And why? Well, who hauls 1 car around with a half ton in business, right? Mr. John. So I didn't laugh. Mack's here tonight, okay? Because we're going to bring Mack in. We're going to teach Mack. We're going to keep him safe. If Mack didn't have us, Mack could have a problem, right? So, Mack, are you learning anything?
Oh, I'm super grateful to be here. I wouldn't have ever even got started if it wasn't for this show. One of Jay's videos from, I think, 3 or 4 years ago on how to talk to Central Dispatch is I literally watched the video and then called the broker like 10 seconds afterwards and used that exact script. So
right,
yeah,
I always have my cards ready. Right, you got to know what you're doing, dude.
Yeah.
In fact, if you need to, that's Thursdays. Tune in.
Yeah. Well, and the good news is Mack's not that far away. Mack has my number. I've told Mack I can meet you at the auction. I can start showing you how this works. But again, the beautiful point here, okay? Like Carlos, like Mack, okay, you go to another place on the internet planet, those guys will get roasted. And I mean roasted, right? We're not here to roast. We're here to, just like I said earlier, I love that. I love the analogy. You go to the bowling alley and go ahead and put the bumper guardrails in, right? Those, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Let's keep everybody safe. Let's try to figure out how to make this work. So, Mack, it's beautiful that you're here. I'm thankful that you're here. And we'll probably talk to you soon. We'll probably meet you someday. Okay.
Yeah, and I want to see you on a Thursday. I really do. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. Now we're going to go to KJS
Transport. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Yeah, you guys can hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I just appreciate you guys having me. Thanks, Ty and Jay. I've watched a couple roundtables here. I'm just getting into this business. So just having the different inputs from all the different strategies out there is nice. You kind of get bounced around a lot on the internet, watching YouTube videos, reading all the articles. So the long dollar, short mile makes a lot of sense to me. I'm trying to build a business here, so I just really appreciate all the feedback and information that you guys put out there.
What's your name?
Kyle.
Yeah, I just looked him up. Yeah, Kyle. We're glad you made it. You know, it means a lot. Number one, thanks for your patience. You've been waiting a long time, and I appreciate that. But also, that's what this is all about. Just like we talked to Mack and just like talking to you, Catherine knows this was probably in January, is that you got to put yourself out there if you're going to get anywhere, and we appreciate that you've entrusted us with that opportunity, right? It's
right,
a community.
Yeah, just all the information from other people. Yeah, my original thought was I've heard, the longer you run, the more money you'll kind of make idea. I know a couple people in the industry that I've talked to, and everybody has something different to say. So I'm just trying to gather as much information as I can and put my thoughts together here.
Oh,
cool.
What kind of truck and trailer do you have, or are you looking at?
I'm planning on getting a Ram 5500 with a 3/4 car hauler. So that's where I'm at right now.
What part of the country are you in?
I was just going to say, where is he?
I'm in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
That's right. Yeah, now I remember because I told you to go to Fond du Lac.
Yeah.
Dodger Auto Auction.
Yep.
John, what do you got? I see you over there. Wheels are turning, Mr. John.
No, 55. Yeah. Once again, you see a lot of these wedges out there, and I gotta let them know they gotta be careful with those wedges. They've got a bad reputation, and you just gotta be careful with them. But they're making money with them, so.
Right.
John, do you have any input on this? These guys that get on this load board and they take cars that are more than 500 miles. I mean, what are you seeing on the rate side of that?
On the rate side?
Yeah, because I always tell guys, I say, go look at the load board. The farther it goes, the less dollar per mile it is.
Exactly, and it doesn't make sense, but they feel you need something to go back that way. They're going to pay you, but I just then they got to get a hotel room because they're not going to be able to sleep in the truck. And that's why you got to stay local. You just got to stay on this side here.
Well,
if you're picking up loads from an auction and bringing them back, are you just deadhead into the auctions and then hauling cars back, or how do you get cars both way doing that, or you don't?
No, we are. That's what I said. A lot of times we're taking new stuff to the dealers, and then from there we'll run down to the auction, grab a load, and we always make sure that the lane's coming back our way, or we'll do a triangle. But yeah, we're not going to send the trucks. Deadhead mileage is not. I can't afford that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So what I tell them, John, is because it's a tricky balance act. Because I'm the guy that's like, if you go out of 100, 150 miles, your truck just blows up. Don't do it. Right. So they're like, okay, well, what do I do? Well, you go to this auction that's not that far away. Am I going to go empty to the auction? Probably. Starting out.
And if you're going to use the load board too, the most important thing is look at what's coming back before you take something going there, because this way you can go in that area. I mean, there might be something paying good money, but there's nothing coming back out of there. So why even bother doing it? Just let somebody else do that. There's going to be somebody else that's going to want to, do that.
Yeah. Kyle, did you have one more question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate listening to Carlos too. I know the load boards can be tough, especially as a new authority starting out, just getting loads of stuff. I like to be prepared, so just trying to gather as much information. But I feel like running the load boards might be a decent option to get started out, just get some experience, and then start making those contacts with dealerships when I'm a more well-oiled machine and building my lanes that way after a little bit of time in the industry.
So when you get started, Kyle, you run into the auction, you're going to have to run empty like Ty said in the beginning. Once you get on the load boards and find people, you take the cars from the auction to them, then you ask them, hey, can I take something back to the auction for you? So you'll get the clientele that way. That's what I did when I first started.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I always say.
Yeah, I mean, that was a perfect example of a phone call that I made last week, just calling out people from the load boards to just, picking loads that were there that seemed pretty reasonable. One was 5-car picking up at a Copart and transporting it to where they repair their cars. And I said, okay, well, once those cars are repaired, then you're going to need somebody to take them back for you. They said, yeah, actually, we do this every Thursday. I said, okay, so then you have probably cars that are already repaired for you to take back to the dealership. So let me be your Thursday guy that, comes and brings them back. And I would not have received that contact had I not just picked up the phone and made the call from the load board. So you got to work, but at the same token, go to the auction and network there. Go to the dealership and network there. Call the brokers and network there. Network everywhere, because not everybody is going to say yes. And the more people you talk to, the more people. It's a big industry, but it's small at the same time, especially if you're staying local within your area. Everybody will start to get to know you.
Sure.
That's good. Okay, we got 2 more. I'm gonna
I'm
move a little quicker here.
Testify. Love that. Network everywhere. Put it in the live.
Work everywhere. Kyle, thank you for coming on, man. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Chris, I see Chris all the time. Chris, are you there? Chris may be taking it. Oh.
Yes, Jay, or Ty, I'm here. How are you?
Good. Where are you at? What are you doing?
I'm in New Jersey. I'm about 15 minutes outside of Philadelphia. And currently, like we talked before, I work CarMax second shift. I've been in the car business my whole life. I did towing back in the day, probably back in the 80s. Had a 5-car, actually up by Mr. John there up in East Hanover. So I was up in that neck of the woods. So we talked, and I had been at Mannheim here in New Jersey for 15 years. So I had my contacts. And on Monday, I went and did some networking up there. And as far as what we talked about, that long dollar, short mile thing, that seems to be the way to go, unless you have bigger equipment to take those long hauls, like the Stingers, you know. So right now I'm kind of looking at the 550 Ram with a 4-car trailer. So that's kind of what I landed on right now to get started.
Mr. John, that's Chris. Welcome to Chris World.
Yeah.
Same neighborhood.
I guess if he's from the Hanover area, I guess he knows who I am, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yep.
Good.
Yep. I've seen your trucks.
All right. Yeah. So, and you're gonna work out of the Philly area?
Yes, that's correct. Actually, I had a friend of mine. We had a used car license together, and he got into transport. So on Monday, we sat down. He opened his books to show me how it's working. You know, he has a girl in the office that sets up the dispatch for him. He runs a 4-car flatbed and 2 2-car flatbeds currently. And that's where that long dollar short mile kind comes in, because he's running for Mannheim. They kind of set up where they were bidding lanes. And what I mean by that was the lane coming, you know, you have car pickups from Philly, bringing them up to Bordentown. So some of the guys were bidding on that, but like super low bids. But the money is coming back because obviously you bid too low, you're not going to do business too long. You know, so from what went down to $50 because of the COVID, everybody's getting back up into that $100 and change again.
We got to, because everything went up around us, especially in our area. I mean, we'll up $1 more a gallon on fuel, so we have to. Something's got to be done as far as the rate. Yeah, no, you'll be fine. You'll be fine down in that area, especially with everything going into Bordentown. Bordentown's going crazy right now.
Oh yeah, it's hopping. Like I said, I was in arbitration up there for 15 years, and I know everybody in there. So, you know, all I got to do is make one phone call once I get the truck and trailer, and I'm ready to go.
Well, hey, just don't be afraid to call Judy if you're up this way. You need something down to Bordentown.
No, absolutely. Well, that's the best thing about picking up on this channel, is the fact that we can talk to one another. And like Ty was talking about with the small fish, every now and then you need to clean up. You know, you might have a couple cars you couldn't pick up, or, you know, hey, myself likewise, like, hey, I got a couple cars that can't go anywhere. You might be in the area to pick them up for us.
We just want good transporters.
Absolutely.
That's all we want, is good transporters. You know, just do a good job for us. Don't make us look bad.
No, absolutely not. You know, it's always, you want to make a good promise and over deliver in the end.
Right.
Good. Okay. We got one more. This is Jay Wilson. It says Jarvis. Jay, are you there? Jarvis?
Let's see here. I don't see that. Maybe he was here. Maybe I think we had a couple that have come in and we've lost, maybe.
That's okay. Oh, wait. He came off. Jarvis, Jay, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What
Okay.
are you doing? Where are you at? Did you fall asleep?
Yeah.
It's late enough. Sorry about that. Thanks for waiting, being patient.
Long week.
Yeah. What do you got cooking? What are you doing?
Just got back from Virginia. Got to drop off to a dealership in the morning. Then head to Atlanta to pick up 2 more.
All right. So you're already in the business. How long you been in?
Got in September.
This last September. Okay, so
Yeah.
not very long.
Yep.
You started a business in the middle of a pandemic. Good job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Way to go. Talk about balls of steel. Wow.
I've been doing enough research and looking and talking to people before I got into it.
Yeah. So what kind of equipment are you running?
So I got a Ram 2500 with a 2-car, and
Okay.
truthfully, I outgrew it already.
So what are you're staying pretty small circle, right?
Well, I was, but that small circle is kind of limited on what you can make. So far as, distance wise, like I have a dealership that's, a guaranteed customer, and he kind of keep me busy, but he can also kind of keep me everywhere.
A common problem, isn't it?
It is, but you got to be careful. I want to hear what John says, but dealers are good about abusing you. Meaning they'll take advantage of you. Just go get that one car. We'll give you something later. Be careful with that.
But no, when it comes down to him, he keeps me busy. He keeps me busy. But he try to make sure if he buy one car, he'll buy them in the same area versus one here, one there. He kind of have everything in the same location.
Good. Okay. So it's working out for you. You're staying safe.
Yeah.
Learning some stuff every day. What are you dealing with right now? What's your biggest problem?
I need a bigger truck and trailer. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you got to do about that? How do you fix that problem?
I'm gonna wait to the end of the year, just because I don't want to scale too big or too soon. So it's just my preference of just to wait. I know some people will probably do it earlier, but I'm gonna do it that way. I think that's to be more safe. I want to make sure everything lines up because I'm the type of person. I don't want to just jump out there. So I just wanted to make sure. That's all.
Well, good.
What area is you out of?
I'm out of North Carolina.
What part?
Raleigh, Durham area.
Oh, okay, you're in a good area then.
Yeah. Where you from?
I'm in
Okay.
Charlotte.
So
because that's Carlos. That's your region, Carolinas. You're in the Carolinas, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Good. Another connection. All right. So we blew through it. As you can tell, we don't really get to talk a lot about. You don't hear me sitting here telling everybody how to get rich, right? What you hear is real life people, real life stories dealing with real life in car hauling. And as you can tell, that everybody's trying to figure something out different. But what I think I hear, what I like, and even if I didn't hear it, I'll make it up. Go talk to car dealers, right? Car dealers are the people that are buying the cars, selling the cars, trading the cars, and old inventory. So car dealers have trade-ins they don't want. They got to do something with them. What is that? We'll put them on ACV, backlot cars. Odessa has a we'll come to you auction. Manheim has a we'll come to you auction. Whatever you want to call it. But the car dealer, if you want to build your business, is the guy you need to talk to. Catherine says it. Carlos says it. John says it. Max says it. Shannon says it. Kyle says it. Chris says it. Jay says it. Mr. John says it. Right, Mr. John?
Yes. And I think it's important that everybody knows that we all have our ups and downs. I mean, it's not, things go bad, but then we have our good times. So, if it happens to you, don't get discouraged, just work through it. And hopefully
that's a great point. That's actually awesome point. Brian Pepson, he was supposed to be here tonight. I said, hey, come in tonight. He says, man, I don't even give a flying flip about the business. He's obviously had a bad day. I haven't had a chance to talk to him. But Mr. John's right. There's nothing, and even with 18, 20 trucks, it doesn't. There's plenty of opportunity. There's plenty of good times, and the business does take care of our families. It really does. But it's a lot of work. It's a lot of energy. It's a lot of determination, and it's a lot of focus. Right? Is that fair, Mr. John?
Yeah, definitely a lot of focus. And one thing in the auto transport business that people don't understand, it's not a 9-to-5 job. It's a 24-hour job, and it just be ready for it because that's what's going to happen. you know.
So, and that's a great point. I get the call a lot. Hey, I've got this old truck sitting here. I've got my buddy. He lost his job because of COVID. I was going to buy a trailer, get a dispatcher, and just let him go. Think I can make any money, Ty? No. As a matter of fact, if you even think about doing that, tell me where you live first. I'm going to come and slap you. Don't. That's not a good idea, right? So anyway, point being is we're not here to rip anybody's head off. We got great people. We're making these great relationships. I'm really, really honored and thankful to have Mr. John. Yes, sir.
Who is Shannon from RoadRunner Express?
Shannon, you still here, buddy?
Shannon, I don't think he's here, but he's based out of Louisville, right?
Kentucky, yeah.
Yep.
You know him?
No, I saw the name. I don't remember him talking or anything. I was wondering.
He said, yeah, he did talk earlier.
He got the new account at the auction.
Oh,
yes, that's right.
That's
He's flying a Stinger. He's going to be in Kansas City. I'm going to meet him. We're going to take a picture and we'll post.
Beautiful.
But anyway, again, thank you so much, Jay. Thank you, Mr. John.
Thank you.
This really means a lot to me. It means everybody here means just the world to me. I get excited about this stuff, and I don't know why, but I really do. So thank you, everybody.
And I want to add to what you're saying, Ty, because I don't want it to get lost. Catherine, you nailed it with reconditioning. That is a huge and growing market. If you don't know how to talk about reconditioning, well, you're in luck, because next Tuesday night is Carrier Dealer Remarketer. I want to continue to focus on this growing segment. I mean, it's to dealers, it's been a huge segment, but I don't think it gets the spotlight in auto transport, and we need to keep talking about recon because it is a huge area where Ty is used to talk about. How many times would you move a car that got bought at the auction, need to be recon, need to be sold, get sold again, just bing, bang, it's like a pinball, and you get to move it every time.
Well, that's where your buy here, pay here's are awesome. The key word, Recon Center, Inspection Center. Buy here, pay here, Recon Center, Inspection Center. You pick it up at the auction, you take it to the Recon Center, Inspection Center, unload them. While you're there, hey, where are you going? Oh, what'd I break? Nothing. We got a load of cars right here that need to go to the store 100 miles away. Did you take them? Yeah. Especially since my ramps are still out. All right, Mr. John?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll take them. All right. So remarketing, reconditioning, big deal. Jay's right. You know, and there's more to this than even I know. So real excited about that. Real excited about the show.
And I want to say this too. The other side of that is that when we talk to folks at the auctions, they say things like, "Yeah, you know what? Honestly, we don't talk to transporters that much. We see them, we know we need them, but we don't really talk to them that much."
Yeah, but you can always give them a card. They may call you.
Nice.
I mean, I've even at dealerships, I've even seen car haulers there, either picking up or dropping off, and I'll go say hello. Hey, how you doing? I just saw you dropping this off. Are you an owner operator? Are you working with someone? Man, I'm talking to everyone, and you just never know who you're going to bump into and what they need, or how you can help them, or how they can help you. I'm coming from a perspective of service. I'm offering service. And I know you're out there providing a service. How can we help each other? How can we, navigate through what we're going through? Because everybody's kind of going through the same thing, but all in different segments. The dealerships are going through it. The auctions are going through it. Even Manheim, when I called Manheim to see who does their stuff, I remember one of the shows, Jay, you said you had two guys that were carpooling at the lots. So I said, man, if I just go out there and act like I want to be a carpooler, what can come out of that?
Exactly.
And so, even doing that, I called Manheim and they connected me to who they hire around here to transport their cars. And when I called them, they gave me a connection for a solid Florida to Florida route. I'm just talking to everybody.
So I just texted Ty, he texted me back, in that I kept him, he was trying to say goodnight and I kind of kept him. I'll tell you what, Ty, and anybody. Here's what we're gonna do. We got 18 minutes till we hit midnight or whatever. It'll be New Year's Eve somewhere. So we're gonna be here for another 18 minutes. But if you need to go, say goodnight. You can say that I'm giving you an opportunity now. Otherwise, you're stuck here for another, we'll say 15 minutes. Okay? Okay. Hey, there's Shannon. He's back. What's up?
I'm back. I had to tend to a crying baby. So
there we go. There we go. So we're in overtime. It is now Auto Transport Intel Car Shipping Roundtable overtime. So that's a free for all. Anybody's got anything to say? Now's your chance.
I got a couple.
Go ahead, Mark.
Hey guys. So one of the things that I wanted to mention that I don't know if people have seen. So Dispatch Center is made a lot of changes. We pushed some new updates today, and I think we're in the a different league now. It really is. My team have been working hard for that. One of the things we have is a backhaul button. So if you have a load that's assigned to you, there's a button right there that says backhaul. You can press it and see what you can get. It'll pull up all the loads that are going to be in the route coming back for you, so you can see before you even get out what you should look for maybe coming back, and you can book those on Dispatch Center. So any of you guys can take a look on Dispatch Center. We've been working hard. We need the eyeballs on it, and we have had a lot of success with the carriers signing up. We had 2,500. Our goal was 2,500 for March 1st, and March 2nd we hit 2,500. So that was pretty good.
Awesome.
We're pretty close to that. Yep. So pretty ambitious with 2,500 more for June 1st, but everything's coming together, and the updates that we wanted are now in place, and I think you're gonna see some steam rolling with Dispatch Center. Some new loads on there. We have new loads that are exclusive. We have new loads that are exclusive for a period of time. So maybe the broker or the shipper gets to designate how much they want to make it exclusive. So before it goes on any other load boards, it's going to be on Dispatch Center. 1 hour, maybe 2. Some of them are going to be exclusively and only on Dispatch Center. We have notifications. Put your route in and get text messages and emails when a new load is posted in your route. Those kind of things. And new loads that are going to be exclusive to Dispatch Center. So I think that's important for people to see that and know that. Go take a look, see what it is. It's changed a lot, and we're happy with it. If you guys see anything that looks hinky or something that's jacked up, let me know. I'm sure there's going to be something along the way. But thanks for that. And for Kyle, so that backhaul button I think could be a benefit when he gets that. The other thing I want to say about equipment, M2, we bought a lot of M2s when I was buying trucks and we were moving cars. M2 was a good truck. We put them behind put a 7-car trailer, Sun Valley, Cottrell, Miller. The 7-car was good. It's a quick load. You have less damage. You guys talking about stingers and doing the 9 and 10-car stingers. You have to be experienced with the stinger, and you can do a lot of damage in a pretty short amount of time. Ask Ty, because he can attest to that. That 7-car, and like Josh was saying, you can make the same money. So it's quick load. I like those. The other thing I liked about the M2 was the model. I can't remember the model that we bought was that had a sleeper in it. And it was a sleeper that was big enough. It's compliant, and you could mark it as a sleeper. And it didn't have to be a day cab. You didn't have to get a hotel, and you weren't driving to California in it, east to west, coast to coast. But that 500-600 mile radius and overnight, it worked out well. Worked out well for the guys. They didn't mind it at all. So
I think
that's what I had.
Your input's really good, and I think what happens there, if you're doing POVs and stuff, a 7-car is the way to go. What we find out is if you're doing dealership work, OEM work and stuff like that, they want you to have 10 cars. They want you to be able to put that load on when they build that load for you. So if you're going to do POVs and you're going to take stuff off of load boards and stuff, a 7-car works really well. And like you said, if you're going to stretch your legs and go out a little farther, you definitely got to buy a tractor with a sleeper on it.
Yep.
Good input from both of you. I appreciate that. Well, one of the things that I like, let's go to Mark, since he's talking about his dispatch center. I talk to Mark on a regular basis on purpose. And one of the things that Mark and I are going to start working on with Jay is we're going to start asking dealers and brokers to post loads on dispatch center. So there's going to be a push if you're a broker or a dealer, and we know they're out there, we know they're watching. We're going to ask you to help us. Our goal is to hit 5,000 loads. Is that right?
5,000 available loads.
Right. So currently, I don't know when you, and this may not be a good question for the show, but when you say backhaul button, right? Is that what you said? So I'm going to go from here to there, and I know I'm going to go there. So hit the backhaul button. When I hit that backhaul button, what loads are you showing me? Loads on your load board or loads on other load boards?
So currently it is the loads that would be available on Dispatch Center, so exclusively on Dispatch Center. We have a feature that we are bringing into Dispatch Center where we will be able to pull loads from other load boards, so you could look collectively all loads, well, a lot of loads in one location on Dispatch Center. So that search, so the backhaul button is, if you have a load that's assigned to you and it's in a status of being assigned to you, you can look for additional loads. There's a button for more loads in this route. So if you have loads that are assigned to you, you may have 2 drivers or 3 drivers, and they're going different places, and you're still looking for additional loads for those drivers, and they're assigned to you. You're looking at the list, and it's from here to there and here to there, and on that load there's the information of a backhaul. So if I'm interested in finding out what's available on the return, so it takes the metro of the origin and the destination, and it does a search and an advanced search. So the cool thing about the advanced search in Dispatch Center is it's not just the metro, say Detroit to Metro Miami. If I'm going Detroit to Miami, or not all of Michigan to all of Florida, but everything in between, the Cincinnati, Ohio to Georgia, those loads will be in that list. So backhaul and more loads in that route, doing an advanced search, there's a lot of opportunity to see things that you might not be in your focus if you're looking for Detroit and looking Michigan to Florida. There's things in your route that you would see, and you have different opportunities.
Good.
So if they are available and they are in your route, it's easy to just make a request. You request it, and it goes straight to the dealership or to the person shipping. So it could be a broker or a dealership.
Good deal. Good deal. John, what do you think about that, Mr. John?
I think that's great. I mean, I'll be contacting him to move some of our stuff. Does he have any plans on going to Plateau?
I apologize, I didn't hear that.
Do you have any plans to go to Plateau as far as being able to send the load over to our program?
Well, Plateau and I have not spoken yet. However, we have seen their stuff, and I'm sure they've seen some of our stuff, and it is definitely in the focus. We have them in the spotlight.
Okay, beautiful.
But I love that. I love that we're talking about that. And this is a good forum to have those kinds of conversations and questions. Seen there's some great stuff happening in the live chat right now. We're in the last 10 minutes and we still have great, and I appreciate that, everybody. Thank you so much for making that happen.
I have a question for the community. If I'm just wondering, I was looking into Carship.io for bookkeeping. Is anyone familiar with Carship.io, or what do you all recommend for bookkeeping and invoicing and stuff like that?
Well, things have changed since I've done it. I always used QuickBooks Pro for accounting, and I got rid of all my trucks before everybody had an app for everything. So Mr. John might be a good one to take that.
We have a dispatch program that was on the show last week that we're pretty happy with. That's why I wanted to know about PLATEAU as far as him being able to send the loads over to us. And my wife still uses QuickBooks. She uses it for all the billing.
Okay, thank you.
I think QuickBooks is one of those softwares that, is very pervasive. Ty?
One of the things I like about QuickBooks that I always went to the reports. I want to report every Monday on my desk. Why? Well, I know where my trucks went, and I got a pretty good idea what we grossed, but I like to start doing averages. So once you start building that fleet, and Mr. John, maybe you do, maybe you don't, but I like to look at, okay, I moved 2,000 cars this week, this radius, what's my average per car? Right, so I start getting weird and start breaking in different things. But then you also have your accounts receivable report, which is really important, especially if you do what I'm talking about and what Mr. John's talking about, which is you go get your customer and you make the deal when the car will be delivered and how much will be paid and when I will get paid. Okay, that's negotiating. You're negotiating rate, you're negotiating ETA, and you're negotiating all the terms. Right, Mr. John?
Right, and the whole thing, like even with ClearPath, it works with QuickBooks because everything is integrated. It goes back and forth. It takes care of it. So this way, our office is still paying our other bills that have nothing to do with, the billing part of transporting a car. So that's why it all works together. I mean, and as far as the numbers, I can tell you who my top driver is, how many cars he did for the month. It's fantastic to be able to take a look at that. Yes.
Yeah. And that honestly.
Yeah, I was asking about Carship.io. I learned about them from a show that Ty did on ATI a few years back. So that it's basically bookkeeping, but specifically just for auto hauling, auto transporting. So I didn't know if anybody was familiar with them or had any feedback about them.
I just want to jump in. Yeah, go ahead, John. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Joe. There's a couple of good programs out there. That's why I said you have to pick and find out which one works for you. But like I said, the one is just to make sure what you're doing, how many vehicles you're moving, who your drivers, what your driver's doing, and account on that end of it. But you're still going to need something to pay your bills and stuff with, and that's where QuickBooks comes in.
Yeah, and I think that John is talking about, I believe, ClearPath TMS, which I think integrates with QuickBooks. Carship.io, I haven't talked to Stan in a while. I hope to circle back with him. I don't know, but I'm assuming integrating with QuickBooks and having, I know Carship.io does have some reports inside of its software. And so, Mark, does SuperFlo integrate with QuickBooks too? Do you do that?
We do actually, and that's more specifically currently on the Pro ABD side, which is for the broker or the shipper. We have an API that connects directly to your QuickBooks account. So every load and order that you take and manage, you can just push over to your QuickBooks account. And the one real advantage with SuperFlo doing it that way, and it's not in a list of a report in the report, so they batch over. Usually they'll take the information and batch it over. We have it to where every load every order you can push over, and it pushes over. When it goes over, it gives customer information. It matches the customer information in QuickBooks. And if you didn't have that vendor listed, it would add for you that vendor, so you wouldn't have to do that part of it as well. So a true API into QuickBooks is I think unique to SuperFlo. Other people batch if they send it, they can send it to QuickBooks, but it comes in as a batch, not for every order like we have, which I think is definitely an advantage.
Thank you all for your feedback.
Yeah, thank you.
So we've got the technology, the apps. There's all these apps. There's load boards. Okay, and this is where Jay comes in really good, because he's in tight with these apps and these technologies. And by the way, and Mr. John will know this for sure, but I'd say it's probably been maybe 5 years or less ago that trying to get anything to connect with QuickBooks was a nightmare. Did you have that problem?
Oh, we major problems. And now the problems we're having with QuickBooks is now they want us to go online. And we're not ready for that.
Oh,
yet, you know?
yeah. QuickBooks Desktop versus QuickBooks Online. Right.
See, I'm back in.
So you all prefer the desktop version over online, clearly, is what I'm hearing.
I think there's less integration issues with desktop than there is with online. Am I right about that?
Yes.
Probably when you're dealing with the cloud. Yeah, Mark and there we go.
So we have to connect to an API. You have to have the online version. You cannot have the desktop, unfortunately. So that there is that, but.
Oh, so you're saying you specialize in online versus desktop?
Yeah, well, so we can't push to your computer specifically, and so your desktop is you put your CD into your computer and it runs and it updates at your computer. Online, so we would electronically send it online. It goes to their servers, which connects to your account. So we would not really have an access to be able to push the loads from ABD and the information without having the online access.
And that's why it's important that people know that when they're looking at the programs that they're going to get, to find out which, especially if they're going to use QuickBooks, which one they're going to use, because that's a big problem if you go out and get the program and it doesn't work with QuickBooks.
Well, and really, this is an interesting conversation. I know it might seem dull, but the thing is, since everything's going digital, physical, hybrid software, that the ability to connect to cloud-based technologies is going to be more important than something that is offline. Whether it's the dealer online car buying sites, the recon software. I mean, everybody's got another. Every industry news, there's another software I never heard of.
John, Finest Towing, what are you guys using for accounting?
It's called my wife and my accountant.
There you go.
We still do it.
Is it cloud-based?
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, we still use old school methods here.
That's all right. The point is, and it's a good point, Catherine. I'm glad you brought it up. The point is accounting is a very important part of this business, right, Mr. John?
Yes, it is. You gotta keep track of where everything is.
Yeah, and there's a really big benefit to you, whether that's 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or 12 months. There's a big benefit to you because we can go back and we can see what we've done.
Right.
And as we grow that, this is where Mr. John, I don't know if you've ever heard anybody in trucking talk about residual income, but there is potential for residual income in this business if you do it right.
If you do it right.
You have that relationship. That guy's been in business for more than a year. His goal at the end of this year is to beat last year's goal. Go figure. So
I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen this year.
Yeah.
Last year. Okay.
Tricky, right? 2022. We're there. But
yeah.
Anyway, again, I just want everybody to know this is great. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Mr. John, special guest.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Really, really mean that from the bottom of my heart. I love having guys on that know what we know. John, Mr. John and I, we haven't talked at all before tonight. I did meet little John Jr. at Kentucky.
At Matt's.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
He had one of his big trucks there, just pimped out, and I was just drooling all over it. Everybody that walks by was just loved it. But great people, incredible people right here, and a lot of connections were made, on this board. So really, really.
John, is it okay if I call you tomorrow to reach out to just talk about some of these items?
Yeah. Myself, yeah. No problem.
Awesome. If anybody is missing somebody's contact info, we want to help connect.
Shoot me a text, give me a call. I'll do my best to connect with everybody. So anyway, thank you, Jay. Thank you, Mr. John. I'm out. You're not keeping me anymore, Jay.
Yeah, I know, man. I kept you so late. It's so great.
Good night, Ty.
Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you.
See you
Thank
Thursday,
you
Ty.
all so
Take care.
much. Wow.
Thank you. Nice to meet everybody.
Yeah, John, thank you for sticking around. That was such a treat, man. So cool. And John, for saying hello in the live chat on some of the shows, and that goes for everybody. I really appreciate that. Thank you all so much.
Thank you for what you do, Jim.
I appreciate that. It means a lot.
All right.
This is cool. Okay. All right. Anybody, anything else? Jazz hands? Diamond hands? All right, I'm going to end this meeting, and I'm going to say goodnight to everybody. So thank you all so much, and we'll see you on the next one.
Good night, everybody.
We can help.
Hey, guys. Thank you.
Peace. All right. And cut. All right. Hey, that was awesome. Wow. It's hard to know how to end a meeting. Mic check 1 2 3. He's still checking audio 3 hours in. Troy Lane, thank you so much, buddy. I would ring the cowbell, but it is late. It is late. So I'll just give a couple dings. Daniel Sanchez says, good night, all ship Africa. Hopefully I answered your questions and appreciate that. Thank you so much for asking stuff in the live chat. It's really cool. Yes, if you are looking for anybody's contact info, thank you, CarT. Thank you, Jay Wilson. If you saw something and you want to know more about them or that topic, again, you can email me. I'll go ahead and put it in here. I put it in here one more time. autotransportintel@gmail.com. But I'll tell you what, as I write that, you know what I really like is I love seeing comments below, right? So please do it. If you missed the live chat, if you have a question, and you watched all 3 hours of this, which I think some people might, then go ahead and put it in the comments below. We'll tap that person on the shoulder. We've got DOT tomorrow, Wednesday at noon. I also want to thank Sue, Murphy Auto Transport Services. She's my co-host on Thursdays on Dispatching Live. Brian Riker, your DOT guy, is my co-host every Wednesday at noon on DOT compliance. That's a great specific topic with a mountain of information to keep up with. And they expect, man, you go to the scales, they expect you to know that book front and back. And so we're going to go into it. We want to answer your questions. And then, of course, Fridays is Cars on the Move, connecting dealers, auctions, and carriers, which we just spent over 2 hours explaining why that is so important. But it is one of those things you can dip back into. It's kind of like, disciplined practice, like a martial arts or something. Keep doing it, keep hitting the gym, and that's what Cars on the Move is. Cars on the Move is your auto transport gym. Somebody call Ty, because that I think might stick. So I want to thank Mark Groteke at SuperFlo Systems for being a part of the roundtable tonight and all the information and the hard work on Dispatch Center. Mark really cares and wants to hear from you. If you've got a question, you've got an idea, you've got a suggestion, something just doesn't look right, he wants to know about it. He really does. I really appreciate John Larick Sr. of LTI Services, Larick's Towing and Transport. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and for everybody that tuned in to the roundtable. I think I've got it. I think I made notes. We had John and LouAnn Garofalo of Finest Towing and Recovery. We had Shannon Baity of RoadRunner Express Services. We had Chris Chamberlin. He's in New Jersey near Philly. Lawrence Moore in Miami. We had Andrew Sierka, Secure Motor Transport. Catherine Guerrero, Futuro GT Logistics. Mack Thompson was with us. We also had Kyle Schmit in Wisconsin. We had Jay Wilson. That's Jarvis. And Mark Groteke, Josh Thornton, Lionel Yates with insurance. Go to auto-hauler.com. I'll go ahead and put that in the live chat as well. Carlos Braxton, ACB Logistics, John Cochran, LAI Auto Transport. Everybody was all up in here with the information. And again, thank you guys for saying hello and saying goodnight. Really cool. Lincoln Guzman with his diamond hands. What's up? You guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Auto Transport Intel Tuesday Nights Live. It is the big show. It is exciting. And this was number 179 in a row on a Tuesday night. It's getting kind of cool. The network is growing. The word is getting out. I'm moderating a transportation and logistics panel here in a couple weeks on the IARA March conference. And yeah, looking for more great things to happen. So let us know how we can help. Tune into the other shows. Say hello in the live chat. Tell your friends. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. I was going to say subscribe. And share. And thank you so much. You guys have a good night. And hopefully things are getting better winter-wise, virus-wise. Did you really have to go there, Jay? Guys, everybody stay safe. Thank you so much. And we'll see you soon. Peace out, everybody. Good night.